progress,
assure you,
5 billion.
This
It's
is
like 50,
a
right?
numbered episode of
This
Work
is
in
a numbered
Progress.
episode.
Starting on my left, we have...
Brandon.
Ian,
And I, as always, am Jake Sparkman.
you are
I'm
a
sorry,
liar.
I am a liar. This is Mitch.
You,
Hi.
you stole my joke. I was going to be
Oh,
like,
you were
"I,
gonna do that?
As always, am your host, Andrew.
That's better. I'm sorry.
I have usurped the throne. But no, I guess we'll start with a little clarification as to where our lovely host and creator of this podcast has gone off to. Jake got himself a job, and
Is it a big boy job?
it's a job.
Oh.
As did I.
Okay.
And Mitch has everyone's getting hired everywhere right now.
It's not the
I got
best of
different
things.
But Jake found himself a career, and he's got to do training at the time that we're recording the podcast most of the time. So for this episode and probably the next few to come,
Ew.
Jake will not be a part of the Work in Progress crew.
I'm not going to listen to them then.
He's really the reason
You're
we're
listening
doing
to
this.
them right now.
I'm just going to turn them
Half
off.
our popularity just...
Yeah, it's-
He'll definitely still be behind the scenes. He'll be working the Facebook page and editing these and all that fun stuff. And any side adventures we have, he might also be a part of because we're planning a few of those. But as for the actual podcast
adventures.
itself, Jake might not be a part of the crew for just a little bit. Hopefully, no more than a month. So until then, I am your new ruler and king.
The subway
In the
came.
meantime, I've usurped the throne.
Yeah, this basement is all mine now.
And yet, ironically, you didn't bring your chair down here.
I know. It would have been really fitting to have the throne
Yeah.
tonight, but
Bureaucracy.
it was not to be. So yeah, I guess since hosting duties have fallen to me, it's up to me to get the dialogue started here. Mitch, you were just in the middle of telling us a story. If you wanted
Oh,
to
sure.
go
Okay.
ahead and
What's
go
the
on with
story?
that.
Okay.
Maybe start from the beginning to catch
Sure,
up.
yeah.
Podcast.
No, start at the end, and then go
to
to
the very end?
Go back like a segment, then another
I'll tell like it's a movie.
It'll be like
Memento.
Memento.
I'll tell it like a movie. So we start, and it's my sister's mouth dropping, very shocked about what she's hearing.
Title
Meanwhile,
card.
weeks ago, so I was telling Ian that for a very cool Christmas present, my parents got us tickets to go see the Book of Mormon,
which is awesome.
Which is awesome. For those of you who don't know what that is, it is I think it's really the first Broadway play that the South Park creators, along with the main creator of Avenue
definitely
Q,
the first.
have worked on. Yes, they've been working on this for a while, but it came out I think officially last year.
Yeah, that's right. I believe so.
Yes,
And won.
it won about
crap
7
ton of-
Tonys.
Yeah.
It was
Wow.
It was huge, and I was
Continues to be huge. I mean,
Oh yeah, like it's now
I think there-
touring.
I think
but,
there's movie talk. Like,
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But
'Cause that's probably the only way I'm ever going to see it. Is so
have you heard it?
Yeah.
Have you-
I haven't.
Oh, I
I
should check
have explicitly gone out of my way not to listen
not
to the
hear-
soundtrack because I feel like it would impact the.
It kinda would.
Seeing it the first time.
I kind of would. There are a couple of songs that would.
That's fair.
And it's silly because again it's a fucking play which I've never in my life gone to see
Right.
any variety. So
Right. But that pedigree,
But
I
I'm
mean-
still shielding myself from it. I've listened to a ton of soundtracks from other stuff because I'm never going to see that, and I don't think I'll probably ever see this. But I still
Fair
want.
enough.
I want to keep it fresh. If we're 5 years down the line, I still haven't seen it. I'll
Fuck
probably
it.
listen to it.
Yeah.
Well, I find it funny because the South Park guys, before they even did South Park, were trying to make musicals. They did Cannibal
Were they
the
really?
musical, and
Oh,
they
right,
they did a lot of things like that, and so they were kind of glad they
And
could.
basketball.
And basketball,
Yeah.
and
I
South
fucking love
America.
baseball. That still might be my favorite work.
That's a great one,
guys.
But
That's
they,
such an underrated play.
if you watch their episodes of South Park, they write a lot of music for
Yeah.
their little
No, it's true. Well, I mean,
jokes and
And
stuff.
South Park. No, South Park. The movie has a lot of musical numbers.
Yeah, South Park the movie.
Kind of is.
Very much
It is a
so,
musical.
yeah.
They originally wanted to make one of their movies, Orgasmo, into a musical. At the
Yes.
last second, they couldn't because I think they didn't have enough sound, or they didn't have
Something
the
like
right
that.
crew, or something. Whatever.
Of course, that was doomed for the start because I think that got NC-17.
Yes, it did.
as a verb.
It did.
Hard to imagine a movie named Orgasmo. It's a little too highly
I
rated.
remember-
G.
I think this was in the documentary. This film was not yet rated. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
I
I
really
haven't
want
seen
to.
it, but you
It's
and
really
your
great,
boys
but
talk about it a lot.
They were talking about Orgasmo, and they got notes back because you get notes back from the MPAA, and they said given an NC-17 for the overall tone of the film.
Fix everything.
Yeah, it's like normally they give you notes like, oh, you can cut like 5 seconds off of this or something, and they said
if
no.
you like knock like
no.
10 seconds of titties out of this movie, cut
We'll
like
talk
3
again.
F-words, and
But no, they were like, no,
this
the overall tone.
whole
of this
fucking
film.
thing, just take it
Cannot.
back. Get the fuck out of here.
But you were saying,
Yeah, but it's not like this is brand new territory to them. They've done this for a while and they've been working on this forever. So me being a big fan of South Park, I heard they were doing a musical and I immediately went, I have to see it. And it got huge reviews. It got 7 Tonys.
like you said, Avenue Q guy, and I love.
Oh, yeah,
Avenue
which is
Q.
amazing
I
as
still
well.
haven't seen it, but I mean,
What apparently happened was
Soundtrack
it was
is-
Matt
is
and Trey, and they apparently went to go see Avenue Q like on a whim.
Right.
Like they heard what it was and were like, we have to see it. And they saw it and they loved every second of it. And they like kind of bumped into like either the producer or the creator in like the lobby.
Right.
And it was one of those great. They were both huge fans of each other. They're like,
Oh,
we
yeah.
loved Avenue Q, and he was like, I'm a
We
huge
should
fan
do
of South
something
Park.
together.
So they apparently went to like a bar.
Why aren't we making a baby?
And went like stayed at this bar till like 3 a.m. and they were like,
bullshit.
this is what it's like. It's like the whole. We should do a play together. What if we did a play together?
What if we?
What if
really
we did it about this? And the guy's like, mm-hmm. And the whole time, both of them were like, I can't believe we're working with the other guy. So it was a big fanboy moment for both of them, and
That's
I'm
great.
very, very happy.
No, it was
that-
a great meeting of forces. And
Oh,
it really
definitely.
was.
Well, it sounds like I heard a rumor that we possibly might get the end of South Park. I'm not sure soon, but I heard the reasoning why was they want to do more plays, which makes me incredibly
It's
excited.
certainly not because, like, oh man, if
We're
only we
like
could
this.
do more South Park.
We're running out of pop
running
culture
out of-
jokes to make.
It's not like they're
Does not seem to be
running out of money either.
Yeah.
No,
But
though they did hit that interesting benchmark just recently at the first episode they ever missed. You guys hear about that?
no,
I did hear about that.
Yeah, and it was because of a blackout. They lost power, and of
Oh,
course they had
no!
that super
Oh, wow.
tight schedule. They
No, I know.
finished
Yeah,
all
I
episodes
really
in
want to
5
see that.
days.
Things
I really need to
yeah.
see that
And
documentary.
they lost power, and it's the first time they have ever
Yeah.
missed
That's
sending it
devastating.
To clarify, South Park is notorious for having a 6-day
Airtight.
schedule to get out new episodes.
That's insane.
That's the reason they stay so up on pop culture. Like you watch an episode and it's like, wow, that just fucking happened.
Yeah, like
'cause it
literally
did.
just
Yeah,
happened, 'cause sometimes it did.
they map out every episode literally 6 days before it airs and get it all produced in the studio. There's a great documentary that I believe
really
is,
need to
is
watch
it still on Netflix. Do we-
I can't find it.
I don't.
I don't think it's on
they might have
Netflix.
taken
I would love to
anymore,
see
but
it.
I know you can watch it on South
called
Park
5 days
Studios.
to air, wasn't it?
6 days.
6
days
days.
to-
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I know you can watch it on South Park Studios.
Okay, good. I really
it's
wanna
called
watch
6
it.
Days to Air, and it's like a 45-minute doc about that
Yes.
process.
Yeah.
And how they have 6 days to put these episodes on the air. And yeah, for years and years and years they've been doing this. Not the entire run of South Park, but for probably the last 6 or 7 years at least.
Oh yeah.
Several seasons in a row.
Yeah.
They've been doing this 6 days to air thing, and they get incredibly close every
Yeah, they
time.
really cut it.
There's a big emphasis on that in the documentary of how fucking close they're always cutting it with this deadline. But they had never missed one until just a couple of weeks ago. They finally missed their first
And it was
episode.
just
Man.
because of
Just this
natural
blackout.
causes. Yeah,
nothing they could have done about it.
Yeah,
Jeez.
which,
I mean,
which
well,
sucks.
Well,
Like,
there's one thing they could have done about it, which is to have a less fucking restrictive schedule.
Yeah.
Maybe have a schedule where a blackout doesn't totally fuck up
Right,
everything, but
I feel like they. I wonder if they think it's part of their magic at this point, like doing it in that time
I
frame
would
with the
think
pressure
so, yeah.
leads to their current success. I mean, I wonder if
But
that's
in
part of
the
it.
system they have chosen, there's nothing they can do about
right.
it. You know, it's just.
And I mean, it was only like I don't think it was for a full day.
I think it was like a
It's just-
3-hour blackout.
Yeah, 3
Wow.
hours, and that's all it took.
I believe it.
That's all
Though.
it
With
took.
that short amount of time,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Again,
they-
they're always cutting it so fucking close.
Oh, man.
In 6 days to air, isn't it like? Don't they get it to them like a half hour before they have to put it on? Something like
jeez.
that?
Before it goes on the air.
Yeah.
I mean, can you
Oh,
imagine?
man.
Literally like getting like the fucking tape. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's
like,
horrifying.
half an hour.
Central.
Can you imagine like working in Comedy
horrifying.
Central and being like those fucking guys?
Like,
Just
they-
sitting there by the door
goddamn
like
it.
fucking
They're doing it
Parker and
again.
Stone. They're doing this shit again.
Every week.
He's gonna get a
Can we
goddamn
just
ulcer
fucking
from these
cancel
guys.
that and get Key and Peele to take over? Like
Key and Peele.
I actually like them a lot more than I thought I would.
Key and Peele.
No, I like Key and Peele
That's a
a
great
bit.
show.
I was
We're,
very surprisingly happy. But anyway,
We're moving off subject.
so parents got us to
That's
like.
what we do.
That's
I
what
had
we
been kind of like I've been really excited for this, and like I went to like our college library, and they actually like had the script, and it was like brand new. Like if I rented it
For the Book of Mormon. They have the book.
like the script, they had the book of the Book of Mormon. And it was one of those, like, it had just come out, so like if I checked it out, I could only have it for like 2 or 3 days. So I checked it out and I read it.
DVD rental.
I checked it out and I read it, which reading lyrics to a song isn't the same magic, but I was reading it and I'm like, this sounds very much like South Park.
Yeah.
And then I got a copy of the soundtrack and I just started going, okay, this is spectacular. So,
And from the opening number. Like,
Oh.
hello.
it's not only a really funny South Park song, but it's a very
It's also
good
just a
song,
good song.
which
That's
is
what's great.
very dynamite. Like a lot of
Yeah.
their songs are very funny, but are just fantastic. Like I
Which
think
was the same with Avenue.
their their last song in Act 1 is called "Man Up."
Yeah, man.
It's this big compilation. It has the one guy singing, and then it becomes a compilation of like every song that's happened, and it's really awesome. And I'm like, this is really funny. Wow, and it gets very good. So, and what I find disturbing is a lot of kids in my theater classes that I teach don't know about it. And so when I'm like, oh, it's a South Park musical, they all go, what?
How have you not heard about this? But anyway.
So like I read it and I had heard some of the music, and so I was getting super excited. So I had been kind of talking about it. My parents heard about it, and so for like our big family Christmas present, they like, by the way, it's coming to the Fox in March. We got tickets, and I just went, yes.
That's awesome.
So as an added bonus, some good friends of the family that we've known since I was in, I guess, elementary school. I made friends with this guy named Will, and then our families just really became, pretty close.
Yeah.
So, turns out they had also gotten tickets for the same night, so we all made it a big thing. So we went to the town, a couple hours early. We went to a restaurant downtown, and then we went to the show. And I was just like, "Oh, this is gonna be great!" And like on the ride there, I kind of like told my parents, I'm like, "Look, this is a South Park musical.
Got to prepare the parents.
You've seen South Park. You expect very crude, swearing, disgusting humor."
It is time to expect the worst.
And I'm like, I've only heard like so many of the songs.
You got to tone it down for the stage.
I can only imagine what it looks like.
Yeah.
And so they're just kind of like, we're really excited about
We're
that.
prepared.
And I'm like, okay. And so we walk into it was at the Fox. And
Fox is great.
Yes. And they're selling all the memorabilia, and souvenirs for the show. And for those of you who don't know, the plot of Book of Mormon is it's these two kids who they become full-fledged Mormons. And
So they have to go on a mission.
They have to go on a mission, and they go to Uganda, Africa, where they kind of realize very quickly religion doesn't really matter when everyone has AIDS, and there's this general who's killing people, and they're fucking babies.
And they're all like bright-eyed and ready to help the world.
Yes, and they're all innocent, and they're like, oh my god.
Yeah, like before they go to Uganda, the main character, his dream is to be sent to Orlando, Florida. Like that's
his dream,
heaven on earth.
And my sister loves that song
He goes
because
to
now she lives in
he goes
Florida.
To Uganda, yeah.
So we walk in, and there's all the souvenirs you can buy, and I've heard a lot of the songs. And there's this one. There's a T-shirt that says the phrase, I think it's Hasadiga Iboa, which I'll save explaining until the end of it.
Right, yeah.
Because that's a song. That's a really important song.
It is.
And it's on this T-shirt in big bright letters, and I just started laughing.
Right.
And my friend, it's my friend's mom, Liz. She's very fun woman, very very innocent but very wild at the same time. I don't know how. And she's just like, "What's so funny?" And I'm like, "Oh, you see that shirt there?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "You'll find out." And she's like, "Okay." So we sit down and the show starts, and it's better than I could have imagined. It's hysterical. It's crude. It's Orlando. It's very theater, but also making fun of the fact that it's very theater. The best way I can describe it is the very opening scene is like Jesus and like a couple of his apostles, and it's a recording. Like it's actually like Trey Parker's voice you're hearing. They're moving their lips to make it match up.
Lip syncing.
Yes,
Lip syncing,
thank you.
as it is.
That's the term.
There is a phrase, I believe, that
And they're all like,
refers to this phenomenon.
"This is the world, and this and this and this," and then you just see this one guy who looks very obviously like Jesus in Trey Parker's voice. You hear him go, "I am Jesus," and then he his cloak lights up with LED lights, and it's just right off the bat. I'm like,
Oh yes,
this is gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
And this is the only show that I can say this. During one of the songs, not only did I see the main characters, I also saw Darth Vader, hobbits, and
That's
Uhura
right.
from Star Trek all show up on stage at one moment to give you an idea of how ridiculously awesome the show is.
Right.
So the characters get to Uganda, Africa, and they meet this
Uganda, Africa.
Africa. Like literally, like there's this song about them being told where they're going, and one of finally like the main character and his bumbling sidekick, and they're like, "Where are we going?" He goes, "You're going to Uganda." And
Like,
the character
wah,
goes,
wah.
"Yeah." There's this,
Yeah.
wah, and this one character goes, "Cool. Where is that?" And he goes,
Africa.
"Africa." And he goes, "Oh boy, like Lion King."
That's right.
So they show up expecting Lion King. It's the opposite of
They
Lion
get
King.
fucking real Africa.
They get AIDS, clothes rotting off of people, like very bad. And so all the Africans start singing. They're like, whenever we're depressed, we just throw our hands to the sky and say the phrase "Hasadiga Ibowa," and they start this big,
like, oh,
really,
we'll be a part
it's
of
this
that.
big, beautiful, awesome number. And even the main character starts singing it. And finally, they're like, "So what does this phrase mean?" And he goes, he's like, "This Ibowa means God." And Hasadiga means "fuck you." So I guess it means "fuck you, God." And literally the characters are like, "What?"
Yeah, mortified.
And my sister,
mortified.
Mortified.
one of the cutest, she's very innocent. She's getting better.
Well,
She's
college will do that to you.
and so she saw this and her jaw literally dropped because she was like dancing along in her seat and then
It's
she
like,
saw,
wait,
she's like,
what?
"Oh my god, I don't know if I can like this song anymore." I was like, like I was just dying.
That's
in my
the
seat.
idea.
I got a T-shirt for you.
I was just rolling, and I looked up in the corner where like Liz, my buddy's mom, and she was like, just like hitting a pitch that like dogs could hear.
Yeah.
And
I would buy that shirt.
It was so funny.
pretty great.
I needed to go back and get it. But the show's fantastic. They're on touring right now. I don't know if they're still touring. They probably will be because of how damn popular it is and how
Oh,
good
yeah.
it is. I'm hoping that means it'll be. Well, actually, no, it probably won't be. I'm hoping eventually that I will be able to be in this show as the bumbling sidekick idiot,
That would be great.
which would be a blast because there's so many.
Elder Cunningham.
Elder Cunningham,
That's
yes.
right. Wasn't he in a movie this year?
He's in a couple movies actually.
Which one was
he's a minor character normally in movies.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was. But anyway, he's
no,
gonna
it's-
hit his stride. He
it's-
does a great job.
He does a fantastic moment. Like there's this great, not to spoil it. Eventually, like it's kind of cool. He kind of takes over as the main character role in the second act after his awesome "Man Up" song. And so, like, he's reading from the Book of Mormon, and all these African people are like, "This has nothing to do with our scenario." And one of the characters comes up. He's like, "Look, I was told that to cure my AIDS, I have to sleep with a virgin, but we don't have any virgins, so we have sex with babies." And he's like, "No, that is no." And he's like, "There's nothing about that in your precious Bible." And he's like, yes, there is. And the Lord sent Boba Fett down to get anyone who slept with babies. And they're all like, "Ooh." And I'm like, "Yes."
Yeah, I think he ends up just totally making.
Oh,
up
he
the
ends
Book
up
of
like
Mormon-
adding like the
Book
Death
of Mormon
Star
towards the
and
end. Yeah,
all of these things to the Book of Mormon that aren't a thing, and
it's
should
really
be.
great.
It's
really great.
spectacular.
And I'm hoping that I get to see it sometime when it swings.
Yes.
when it
I
swings
would
by. I don't-
definitely love to.
My
Yeah.
mom
Yeah.
summed it up in the best way, and she goes, "Well, this is pretty much like the end of every South Park episode." And I asked what she meant, and she goes, "Well, it starts off as ridiculous and as crude as it can be, but ends with a really
Yeah, they
good
always try to
message."
come around with the message.
They always
at
end
the
with,
end,
they
most of
honestly
the time.
end with a really good, strong message, and that's true, and they do, and it's kind of explaining religion and whatever and why it's good. And I'm like, I never really thought of it that way. I was too distracted by everything happening.
The
in
vulgarity.
play.
Yeah,
But it's excellent. Check it out. It's not for the faint of heart.
but I'm guessing if you're a South Park fan,
If you're a South Park fan, you will adore every minute of it.
Well, yeah,
you can-
Book of
you can-
Mormon.
I think that stands
Book
for
of
reason.
Mormon.
Yes, especially with just hearing Trey at the very beginning
Yeah.
going, "Jesus."
So moving away from that, Andrew, you got invited to something special, didn't you?
Oh yes, I was like,
On a
I got,
totally
like,
different
party?
note.
I
No.
got invited to something.
Hey.
Well, and it's not the specialist thing ever because today was apparently the most like invites they've ever sent out.
That's great.
But regardless, I'm lucky enough to have gotten into the Elder Scrolls Online beta.
Yeah.
Which is downloading right now, slowing down my internet, but for the sake of this
For the good of
project.
mankind.
As of right now, they're only dishing out the beta over select weekends.
Cool.
You can't just
You could just
download it
hop
and
on.
fucking play it to your heart's content, and they close it down. But this weekend is the first weekend open to me and others who are getting the code today. So starting on Friday and going until Sunday night, I will be able to play the Elder Scrolls Online. Which is not super exciting right now, but I'm sure next week when we do this
really
podcast,
cool.
Yeah.
we'll have a lot of cool shit to say. Hopefully all good shit.
I haven't actually heard, or well, I suppose
Well,
it's
for the
my
most
own
part,
fault.
too
I
much
haven't
about
really
it.
looked into it.
Excited.
For the most part, information's pretty under wraps on it.
Is it?
And I think it's because either they haven't done a lot of beta testing yet, or they've done very
Selected.
low-key beta testing.
Well, I mean, it's not like they need to send out examples of features to draw people in. They've already got the people. Well,
Yeah.
with
Oh,
Skyrim being the
As amazing
incredible
as it is.
success and just deservingly incredible success that it was. I mean, it's really perfect time for them to do something like this and keep it
to
under
make
wraps.
all of our dreams come true.
Yes.
We've been clamoring since Morrowind for how cool would this be with other people?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be first person. It has to be, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
It will likely stay as true to the Elder Scrolls spirit as it can. Though at least in Skyrim, moving around in third person didn't look absolutely silly like it used to.
Oh my god.
I still find
yeah.
it amusing to see yourself in third person and jumping.
That's
Skyrim
the
for any
most
of those
awkward
games.
thing in the world.
It's
when
the
you
same
jump
with Fallout
in
3
an
though,
Elder
too.
Scrolls
Yeah.
game. Oh yeah, well it's a similar.
Yeah, it's a pretty similar concept.
Skyrim was the first one in the series where it actually seemed possible to play from third person. Play
Yeah.
the whole game from that
I'll give
perspective.
you that.
I mean,
but
and not to mention the combat didn't look fucking
It
ridiculous.
looks beautiful,
Yeah.
and it
it was
worked.
good. It still could have been a little more intuitive, but it was
True.
pretty sharp.
True.
For what it was, I thought it was
Yeah,
really
I
good.
mean it's not going to be God of War.
Isn't there a multiplayer version of God of War now?
What?
I think there's multiplayer.
I thought I saw
in
a
the
buddy of
new
mine
one.
play it.
Is there
I
really?
think there's a multiplayer mode in God of War Ascension, but I don't know. I don't care about that.
Anyway, yeah.
That's not really one of those games that needs multiplayer, you know.
Yeah.
Neither does Origin.
Yeah, Arkham Origins is the
But
same
it
way.
does,
We'll get
yeah.
on that in a little bit.
The Book of Mormon thing also reminded me, on the subject of things that I never thought I'd actually get the chance to see live, Justin Timberlake's doing a huge fucking tour right now. And
he coming to
I under the
Springfield?
assumption that tickets to see Justin Timberlake
Are
are fucking
astronomical.
crazy expensive, right?
Is he coming to Springfield?
I'm not.
I doubt it.
No.
I don't know.
Since
The
you're
Galois
like
has
that.
gotten cool people.
No man, this is like a full out arena tour.
Oh, got it.
He's Justin fucking.
Probably
Timberlake.
St. Louis, if anywhere, in Missouri.
He is doing a show at St. Louis, I think, in the next week actually.
Maybe
but,
Kansas City because they have the
Well,
Sprint
and
Center now.
see that's
City's
where I'm going.
Oh shit! Really?
I'm not going.
Are you going? Okay.
I'm saying this is where this story is going. Sorry, I'm
Disappointed.
confusing.
I'm disappointed.
But I was
I
always
don't-
under the impression oh yeah, Justin Timberlake tickets, those are going to cost $1 bajillion, and I'm not entirely wrong.
It's a technical term.
They
It's half a Hergillion.
he opened up sales for a Kansas City show
Hergillion.
next summer, July 30th. That's how far in advance
Wow.
this thing is going, by the way.
Wow. Well, I mean, Justin Timberlake, he can.
Yeah. And to get floor or lower level tickets, $175 a pop. Crazy.
Yeah.
Bringing sexy
That concert sold out real fucking fast.
Oh,
I
man.
saw it when it went on sale, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna check that out." And I clicked on it; it's sold out. I'm like, cool. But apparently, there is really high demand for Justin Timberlake in Kansas City because he's just announced a show for the 31st in the same fucking arena.
Awesome.
Cool.
So there's going to be 2 back-to-back Justin Timberlake
Well, if
shows.
it filled
in
up
the
that
summer.
fast, I mean, and you were able
Sure,
to arrange
yeah.
it. It's just
And
an extra
there's
money.
going to be a pre-sale
Extra
for this
money for
one.
him.
They didn't sell out in pre-sale for this show. So if you get it in the pre-sale, there's a good chance you'll get some ticks.
Ticks.
So the pre-sale
Ticks.
starts 2 days from now, and there are tickets as low as $45.
That's pretty good.
That's actually
I'm
pretty
probably
good.
going to go with this. And I'm not sure I've ever outright professed it on this podcast, so to elaborate,
Your great love of Justin Timberlake.
is fucking amazing. And it has been a
Declare
dream
your
of mine
love.
to see him live again for a long time. I went
That's
to an
right,
insane
you saw
concert
it.
when I was 11. No regrets. Thanks,
Dude, ever
Mom.
since I saw him in SNL, I've only been liking him more and more.
Well, if you guys want in, $45 a ticket.
That's
pretty good.
Timberlake. That's
Yeah,
pretty
you know
good.
with taxes, it's probably going to jump up to 60, 65.
That's still
but
better
good
than
ticket.
what I would have
Yeah,
thought.
and that's going to be nosebleed type shit. But you're still seeing like Justin
That's
Timberlake.
Timberlake,
Like
yeah.
he's going to be like a rock and roll Hall of Famer. Like 20 fucking years from now, he's going to be one of the most highly regarded performers of this time period. Like I'm just throwing that out there. So he's one of those guys you're going to be glad you like saw. Like I'm so fucking glad I was a part of that.
Yeah, he's just kind of one of the kings of pop. I mean, at the moment.
Yeah,
That's a really good
no
way to
fucking
say it.
joke. So that's exciting. I'm probably going to go to that. Just thought I'd bring that up because
Nice.
that's like a dream come true for me.
Nice.
And I haven't gone to any kind of concert in quite a
I
while now.
am going to see Let Live in 3 weeks.
You told me
I
about
think.
that, yeah.
Let live.
Let
Is that what
Live.
you said?
They're really fucking
Ooh,
rad,
listen
like
to them.
post-hardcore, screaming,
Post-hardcore.
thrash on the drums kind of. You know, that's an actual like phrase.
No, I believe you.
Yeah, it's,
I'm not down
the best way I can, it is used to describe the genre of like punk music that's kind of branched out in the last couple of years. That consists primarily of like really hard riffs and like instrumentals in general, and has like those like growling, screaming vocals, but then has like melodic vocals in there as well.
Okay.
And a lot of bands in the genre have like a kind of high pitched singer that like kind of complements the fucking madness of the rest of their music. It's I mean, I could easily
a high note over
throw out
all the
examples,
chaos.
but it's like I couldn't name any examples you'd know anything about.
Yeah, I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can get
But
that across
for
to me.
listeners at least, it's for like bands like We Came as Romans are one of the biggest ones out right now. A Day to Remember kind of blends pop punk with post hardcore. They have a really interesting sound.
Okay.
And Let Live is one of them, but Let Live doesn't have that like crazy high pitched singer. They've just got a singer who kind of sings, but also kind of yells. He's got this kind of like in the middle.
The man
thing
has
going on.
anger.
But more than
I like
anything, he's just got such an intensity to his voice. Like,
Right.
I heard someone compare it to Rage Against the Machine today, and that's the best I can come up with. Is he sings more than the fucking Rage guy did, but like one of the big things about Rage Against the Machine, what made them so interesting was that you could fucking feel the passion
Right.
in the vocals and the lyrics.
The rage against the
Yeah,
machine.
you could feel the rage. That's one of the best things about Let Live is when you listen to the music, you like hear the fucking singer, and he's like, you can tell he's like so balls to the wall. And I've heard incredible things about their live show. I hear he's like one of the craziest fucking dudes you'll ever see.
Yeah.
At, like,
That's
a concert,
good though,
so.
because when you go to the,
Yeah,
wanna
it's
be
really
entertained.
disappointing to go to a concert where they just kind of phone it in. I mean, really
I was
disappointing.
told that Sum 41 wasn't that great live.
I never saw Sum 41.
I heard Mark.
I've seen a lot of subpar bands in my
Right, like I've liked a lot of their music mostly through Mark. Like that's how I learned a lot. Like I got to listen to a lot more of them. But
Right.
I was told he got to watch either he got to see them in live or he got to watch like clips of their live show.
So like a Point Fest kind of thing.
Kinda, yes.
A what?
There's a big
Yeah.
Rock Fest in Kansas City. St. Louis has a big rock music festival twice a year called Point Fest.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there
Did you go?
once.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been to that?
Yeah,
I wanted to go when 3 Days Grace was there.
The Offspring were the headliners when I went, and that was a band I'm so
I would
glad I
love
saw.
to see the
Not only
Offspring.
because they're again
How were they like?
they're a huge band. That's like it's really cool.
Right,
to
like
see.
that. That's a.
But
That's a
not only
headliner
that,
right
they were fucking awesome.
Good,
Like,
good.
Well,
really,
how many
really-
years have they been around now? I mean, it's
While.
a little
They're-
while now.
They're
right?
probably coming up on 2 decades, if not already.
I mean,
It's pretty good for a band, honestly.
And this was in 08, 09, right after You're Gonna Go Far Kid. Mitch probably knows the song. You're Gonna Go Far Kid, but
Oh, yeah, I love
Dance
that one.
Fucker Dance.
I remember that song.
Dance,
Yeah,
fucking
it was right after that. That was kind of their big comeback album. It's a hell of a record.
beautiful. Thank you.
But no, I was really amazed, especially because like you listen to The Offspring, he's got
didn't do my
really
warm-ups.
like high energetic vocals, like tough to sing stuff, and
Oh yeah.
hitting every beat, man. Like I tell you about like sounding blow for blow like the album, he was fucking keeping up, and it was real impressive.
Well, when you sing like that and you get up in the years, some people can't
Well, that's
anymore.
exactly it, man.
I mean,
You know, not to diss on the dude.
to wear and tear, doing that year in year out, it's just
Yeah, and not to diss on him, I don't know the name of the singer for The Offspring, but that's what I'm talking about. But you know, he didn't exactly look young and chipper when I saw him.
I mean, they got to be like 40s.
Yeah, he's got to be getting up there. He definitely looks like one of those older rockers now, but he's he's fucking killing it. Like I don't mean to diss on the guy.
I wanted to mention just with the whole age idea with I can't remember the name of the singer, but the lead singer for Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah,
I know he went through his whole thing where he can't do his anymore, but
His what? Wait, what was that?
you know,
that was give or take like
and
10
that
years
picks up.
ago.
I'm super excited to hear that. but he can't do that anymore. But I kind of like how his voice has evolved past that. Honestly.
Yeah, that's the thing. They have to
He-
find
he really-
another
he
way.
was- He was
really
made better for that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, like I think his music past that has gotten like him as a singer has gotten better.
Yeah, they're
That's
good.
interesting. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
No,
That
the
doesn't
Offspring is
happen very
probably one of like the 5 most
Oh, I love the Offspring.
like huge bands
that's
that,
cool.
that I ever saw, and they totally lived up to it. It was
What would be the other 4? Can you lay that down for us?
Yeah.
Stone Temple Pilots. I saw
Oh,
a couple years
nice.
ago. I saw Alice in Chains at Rockfest this
That's
last year.
Sure. How were they?
I mean, I've never been a huge Alice in Chains fan, but they sounded great.
Yeah.
I mean, they sound like guys who know what they're doing, and you should at this point, you know. But yeah, Stone Temple Pilots. Scott Weiland, their lead singer, is notorious for being like drunk all the time. And It's
Right.
pretty obvious.
And he kept the tradition, did he?
Yeah, not the best show I've ever seen, but it was still cool from like a
Okay.
very fucking perspective. Those would probably be like the 3 like biggest, like most iconic bands I've seen. I saw Incubus a couple years ago.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
cool.
There you
They're
go.
getting up there
Nice.
now. They've been around the block quite a
Yeah,
few times.
they've been really growing throughout
Oh,
their
yeah.
lifespan, haven't they? I remember you followed them like back since
Well, their
their
first
inception.
album came out in '96. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
they've been-
Wow.
That's earlier than I thought.
The crazy thing is they haven't had that many
Oh, 6
like
years old.
crossover hits. They're still a huge band, and they're not like they don't like have a ton of like mainstream influence.
Yeah, no, it strike me as kind of
They
had
basically
like
just
mainstream
they had
influence.
Drive, which was
Right.
huge when it came out,
Oh,
but
yeah.
ever since then, most of their songs chart like moderately on rock radio, but that's about it. But they still have like a huge following, and it's because they're just really damn good.
Didn't you tell me a story that like they just kind of picked that name on a whim, like they were about to go on stage, like what's your name, Incubus or
Yeah,
something
as
like
I
that.
understand it, they
You're
really don't
amazing
like the name
Spider-Man.
in
Or
retrospect
they
because
don't-
they really did just kind of like I don't
Pick it out of a
this isn't
fucking
literal, but they basically like flipped open a dictionary and were like that one.
That would, I don't know, that'd be an interesting curse. I mean, you can't really complain because you're successful, but you can't change your name unless you're Prince, I guess, and just have no name.
The artist formerly known as Prince.
Now known as
Silly
this weird
band
fucking
names are
symbol.
like fucking remarkable though, man. Because you're right, like
Game.
once you pick that
Pronouncers.
band name and then like anything remotely big happens to you, like
You
that's
can't
your
change it.
brand.
That's
you don't want
what
to change
you are.
because if you change it, then you lose the what's
lose
associated with that name.
Yeah.
Which is fucking Hoobastank is what I always remember. I'm like, how many days of the week do you think they wish they could change their name?
It's like every time it gets announced, it just gets less and less good in their minds.
Mistake.
Like, guys, I look back and I wonder if we made the right choice.
Another one I really
Like
love.
kids growing
and-
up today don't know that band, so they're like, dude, I love Hoobastank. They're like,
What are you talking about? Another one I really love, and as far as I know, unlike say Incubus, they don't regret this. I've never heard that they do, but the pop punk band, the Red Jumpsuit Apparatus,
Oh, I've heard that
dude.
name.
literally threw their name together from 3 random words.
Seriously?
Like,
Red
like
jumpsuit
I don't know if they were
apparatus.
literally random, but they basically just were like, let's just fucking make something up.
Let's
like,
make words
boom, boom,
collide.
boom, these are words. This is our band name. Like,
words collide.
I've never heard anything about them regretting that, and honestly, it's a half decent band name. Like I've heard a lot of worse.
I've
ones.
heard worse,
It's
yeah.
silly, but it rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mouse rat.
I don't know if I can complete the 5 for that. I can't. I mean, Our Lady Peace is huge in Canada. So I've seen that.
It's huge in your heart.
And they're huge in my heart. They're my favorite
Right?
band.
That's
so
right.
I'll-
OLP.
I'll stick them on the top, right, or in that. Well, no. I guess actually, In Sync will probably have to make the list.
That's true.
That is pretty fucking
Pretty damn big deal. I also saw the Backstreet Boys for what it's worth.
See, it's okay. The only one that I like, big name that I've seen in concert is Britney Spears. Sadly.
You saw
That's-
Britney Spears?
I
that's
saw
a big
Britney
name.
Spears like years ago.
That's a
like,
big
before
name.
she went through her whole initial trauma.
I like how you rubbed your head like to show the
Yeah.
baldness phase she went through.
You got it.
I almost
For
forgot that.
trauma.
My sister was a big fan, and so we
so
went
long ago.
on
That was
kind of
weird.
a whim. And she was, for some reason, like her appearing was delayed for at least like an hour and a half. Like something was up.
She had
wasn't
a
going.
headache.
Either she had a headache or she wasn't there. I don't know what was going
Maybe
on,
sucked.
but there was this long delay, and it was really, that kind of hurt. When she got on, like it was a show. Like it was very
I've heard
entertaining.
that. Like,
Even
I
if
hear
you
it's
weren't
a
like the biggest
fucking
Britney fan,
performance.
it's very entertaining.
Yeah, like you
Okay.
can't knock the energy. And
Exactly, yeah, and like even again, if you're not a
Work
big
that way
fan,
into
the
it.
music and seeing her and seeing all the fans, like you get into it. Like I was maybe like 14 or 15, maybe younger.
I don't know. Don't ask me.
I don't know.
I don't know how old you were.
Yeah.
You're looking at me like
Again, like I just subbed today, and a girl thought I was 35 again. I get that. But anyway, yeah, like I was
the beard. It's
I
the
was-
November beard.
That's
the
right.
beard, and I'm bald, and it's November, and no shave November.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Like a hobo.
it was a yeah. Please,
Like a well-kept home
I'm a
son.
veteran. But it was sorry. I've had to hold it back for all day. Show was good. That's all I'm going to end it with. Like it was an entertaining show.
Yeah.
Wasn't she on How I Met Your Mother in one episode?
Yeah,
She was in a couple.
Yeah, she was the
the crazy
secretary for
secretary.
She loved him, and
Stella.
then
Who fucking loved Ted, but ended up banging Barney because who didn't?
Because in order to get
you know,
revenge against Ted.
NPH.
Yeah.
Gotta love that NPH.
But no, aside from those ones, I guess I've seen like a bunch of other moderately big to big like current rock bands.
So that's cool.
Moderately
Yeah.
Like I've seen Shinedown's a pretty big deal right now.
I would love to see
Seether, Chevelle, Five Finger Death Punch. For what it's worth.
You ranted about that.
I'm not a huge fan, but I saw him.
Oh man, how's the? Did you get through it?
Oh,
I haven't put up a review for it yet, but I'm ready to.
Okay.
And honestly,
Reviewing their double album.
honestly, it's not as horrible as I wanted it to be. Like, I wanted it to be total garbage, but like they did some okay stuff on it, and we're looking at like a 2 to 2.5 star review. When honestly,
how many?
thinking like out of 5.
Okay,
and I'm
so
like,
not as bad
Five
as
Finger
we
Death
thought.
Punch double album. This is gonna be like a 0.5. I'm so fucking happy. And unfortunately, I actually sort of like some of it, which is. But oh man, let me tell you, it's been a feat of endurance to listen to that fucking thing
get
enough
through
to be able to review it. Because I like to spin an album like 4 or 5 times to like properly review it. And
Or
this
as
is
my
like
father
a
would say,
fucking like
Ricky.
hour 45-minute album. Like,
Sure.
And I'm trying to mix in other shit too. Like I'm trying to listen to the new Daughtry and the new I Empire and this fucking great synth pop album by a band called Churches. Just came out like a month ago, and it's fucking amazing. So that's been a problem because I want to review this like less than great music, but there's this great music that's just like, oh, this sounds better. I'm just gonna listen to this.
Right.
And the worst part is it's like fucking synth pop, so I'm not gonna review it for my blog. It's
Right,
like a rock
right.
music blog.
It's not even helpful.
I'm not being productive by listening to this great album, but I can't help it. That's my plug right now.
Are you
by the way.
procrastinating?
I like
Wait, who are you plugging?
Churches.
Churches?
But it's all capital
The chicken
letters.
place?
And instead of a U, it's a V. So it's like
No,
Churches.
wait, I've heard of these.
They're so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like just a goddamn delight.
Goddamn.
Some of my favorite songs I've heard all year on that LP. Let me use some insider terms.
What does that stand for?
You know, we keep asking that.
Yeah.
We never figured it out.
I don't
So
know
I'm
what
gonna-
LP stands
Doesn't that mean
for.
life points?
Yeah, it does.
It's EP, right? There's EP points.
Well, that's the thing, is there's an EP, which is shorter than an LP.
okay.
But an EP stands for extended
Extended
play. So if an EP, which is shorter, is extended, what is an LP?
A long play.
Long play. Is long
You
You know,
longer
I,
than
honestly, I think you
extended?
might be right. I think it's long play.
That's a joke. That's
That's a
You might-
joke. Is
you
that
might
real?
Not be wrong.
oh,
Do
shit.
you think totally is more than
Yeah,
absolutely?
it stands for fucking long play.
Long.
What a dumb fucking.
Just keep it as life.
That's
so
stupid.
funny. Yeah, life points.
So is that how it's determined? The amount of songs is
I gotta
EP,
plug it
LP,
for
or
that,
album? Is that how that goes down? Because that doesn't really make sense. I mean, I see bands today releasing albums that have like 8 songs. Well, I mean, that's not a recent development.
Well, yeah, but it depends on how long they are. Like a
That's a
Dream
good
Theater
point.
album could have like 8 songs, but they're only 10 minutes long. You know.
Is there an SP, a standard play?
No.
Is that's not
No, no.
LP and album are one and the same, and then there's just EP that's like trailing in the dust.
Oh, I see.
okay.
Okay, I thought it was silly me.
No. There's nothing like.
Long play.
I guess there's like LP and then there's like double album.
So did they just have P? Just play?
P. I think we call that a single.
Ah,
From now on, I'm
What's the
gonna
play?
call it a P, because that makes sense to me.
They dropped a
like,
P.
Yo, man, have you heard the new Incubus P? It's so fucking great, man. This new Britney Spears P, it's killer.
we need to make this.
Yeah,
We need to
this
tell the
is
world.
gonna fucking catch on.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is one of 2 things I'm not trying to catch on this week.
Bring it back.
I'm passing on the nickname for the Packers backup quarterback who has to start in lieu of Aaron Rodgers. His name is Scott Tolzien, and I'm trying to make the Tolzienator happen.
But does he?
We will
does
help
he
you.
in fact? Does he Tolzien?
How might help if he would win a game. I think then I might have a chance of getting this to catch.
How's he doing?
Not good.
He's not awful, but he's not Aaron Rodgers.
Gotcha.
I'll tell you what.
Gotcha.
And that's breaking
Didn't he
my
I
heart
thought he
and
got
my
hurt.
fantasy team. No, Scott Tolzien's the third stringer.
Oh, that's right.
Our second stringer also got hurt.
what
Similarly to
happened
Aaron
to
Rodgers.
him?
Well, see, Aaron Rodgers and his...
I thought we had a really good second one.
No, we have a mediocre second one.
Okay, that's a bummer.
In the game where Aaron Rodgers got hurt, he had one drive down the field, got hit on the last play of the drive, and broke his collarbone. And so Seneca Wallace comes in and finishes that game. So then it's like, okay, we lost that game, but now Seneca Wallace is going to start this next game. Seneca Wallace comes in, does one drive, comes out of that drive with a hurt groin, and he's done.
Hit the balls.
So much like... And then Scott Tolzien came in. So I honestly thought like this Giants game that we just played was going to start with Tolzien doing one drive, coming out with like a broken foot or something.
Yeah,
and then it's Matt Flynn time. But no,
He
Tolzien
dies,
survived.
send in
And
the punch.
that's
What
why
was
he's the
the score?
Tolzienator,
The
because he doesn't get
Tolzienator.
hurt like the other guys.
I
do.
see.
What was the score, you want me to ask him? It's probably going to hurt me asking.
27-13?
Okay, could have been worse.
So he's the
Could have been worse.
So he's the indestructible Tolzienator.
Yeah, the indestructible Tolzienator.
I like it.
There was good news on the... I'm monopolizing this with sports talk, which is
Go for it.
awesome.
Okay,
There was good
monopolize
news
the
out of
media
Packers
also.
camp today. Aaron Rodgers has a radio show on Tuesdays in Wisconsin.
Nice.
Who
And
who
on-
does?
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
In
wow,
Wisconsin.
that's
He's-
awesome.
he-
So
yeah, he
bad.
just... Because he's like God up there.
Yeah.
And God gets radio shows,
Damn right he does. Dude, like, last time I went up there and, like, we were playing, this was like 3 years ago, we were all watching the game at, like, a big family reunion against the Vikings, and the whole room, which is normally, like, very loud, I don't know what it's about, but it's very loud, and everyone's dead quiet. And, like, literally, like, I think this was when Favre was playing for him.
Yeah.
They tackled Favre, and all of them were like, yeah, kill him! And I was like, oh my god. I thought we were still okay with Favre, and they were like, no, we hate him now.
Not when he was wearing purple. Not
Yeah, exactly, yeah, that was the only reason.
That motherfucker went a bad way.
The only reason that I enjoyed
The funny thing is, years later, there were a lot of
conversation.
people during this Aaron Rodgers spot,
Yeah.
and they were like, what do you think Favre's doing right now?
playing
It's like,
Tony
Whatever
Hawk
happened
Pro
to that
Skater.
guy?
It's amazing what will get us to forgive Brett Favre is remembering how the other half lives.
All I
Yeah.
know is my dad explained it to me because I really hadn't been keeping up with it, and he just goes, I'll say this for Favre, he's entertaining. I went, yeah.
He was one of the most fun to watch football players I've ever
Oh,
seen.
definitely.
I prefer to watch Aaron Rodgers.
I do too.
Because Aaron Rodgers is, one, I believe, a better player. And
I believe.
two, Aaron Rodgers is just so damn good that, like, watching him it's like watching God play football sometimes. Like, he's not...
Except God doesn't break a collarbone.
He's obviously not
5-second
like...
film?
No, I haven't.
I believe this. It's one of my favorites. It's called Fantasy Football. It's a 5-second film, and it starts
Those
with
are
like
great.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
They're playing D&D.
Yeah.
And you see this girl roll a die, and she's like, "Werewolf attacks!" And this guy pulls up like a pinup of Aaron Rodgers, and he goes, "Aaron Rodgers counters with fireballs, forcing yard touchdown." And so ever since that, and like because of how amazing Aaron Rodgers is, I truly believe he can throw fireball.
Well,
You
yeah,
should
it's
say
like,
that whenever he throws.
it's like when you watch like a
My
college team, like the number one team in the country, Alabama. If you watch them like against some like Division II scrubs,
Sure.
and you watch them play, that's fucking fun because it's like you're watching people who appear to be perfect at what they're doing.
Right, just
yeah.
annihilating.
It's like this is exactly like if
This is the height
This
of
is
the
how
game.
football is
Yeah.
supposed to be played. It's like just this perfectly, and it's like when Aaron Rodgers is on his fucking game, it's like this is how
This is football.
this is fucking amazing.
this is the epitome of football.
It's like, yeah, part of you is like, this is what football's all about, and the other part of you is like, there shouldn't be anyone who can be this good at this. Like, there should be rules that stop people from like just owning the competition so thoroughly.
They have to retire.
So Brett Favre was never really like that because Brett Favre would kind
No.
of fuck up just enough to make you think, oh, he's immortal. But like when Aaron Rodgers has like a killer fucking football game, it's like there's no one else on his plane.
Right.
He's just above all of these peons. And Packers fans
Wait,
are lucky
wait.
enough to have him step in as our quarterback,
and do a radio show.
I imagine this is also how like Broncos fans feel with Peyton Manning, Patriots with Tom Brady, Saints with Drew Brees. When you have that fucking legendary quarterback, it's just like, and it's, I was listening to the Giants game this weekend when we were playing them because I was at work and I had to listen to it. And it was after Tolzien had thrown like a pick six, and the announcers are super dejected because I'm listening to the Packers broadcast. And one of them's like, well, you know what this is? This is us learning how the other half lives. I'm like, he's not fucking wrong, because for 20 fucking years, the Packers have had a great quarterback. Ever since Brett Favre came to Green Bay, because Brett Favre had that streak of like 190 starts where he didn't like...
He was awesome. He was on his game. Yeah.
So we went like 200 straight games with Brett Favre as quarterback. Aaron Rodgers has only missed 2 games before this collarbone injury, and... we had a very capable backup both times that kept us in those games.
But he got hired, didn't you say that?
Yeah, he's a little more banged up now, though, is the unfortunate thing. Right. Matt Flynn. But yeah, and so this was like the first time in 20 years, this little 3-game stretch we've had right here, where it's like, this is what most other teams in the NFL feel like, having a quarterback that's not gone, like... This is what being a Chiefs fan is like, or a Browns fan, or
fallen off Mount Olympus,
a Dolphins fan. Any of these teams that have had like just subpar quarterbacks for years, it's like this is how the other half lives.
That's great. What the other half, like the other 90% or something?
Well, and it's fucking crazy because as soon as he said that, it really put it into perspective for me. I was like, I've never felt this. In my whole life, I mean, I've gotten to feel part of it because I grew up in Kansas City, so I watched the Chiefs.
Sure.
I get to feel that agony from time to time, but it's like, I've always been a Packers fan, first and foremost, so never as a Packers fan...
I've always liked them more than the Rams.
...have I ever experienced what's going on in Green Bay right now. So I've always known Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Brett Favre has been the starter in Green Bay since I was like 2.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is great for me, because like your teams, you got the Packers... Duke and fucking what are your other teams?
The Penguins?
No,
they just won the Stanley Cup a couple years ago.
That's
they're
probably
pretty damn good.
That's what I was
They have probably like the best 2 players in hockey on their team.
And I, on the other hand, a Cubs fan and an Iowa Hawkeyes fan. I mean, Hawkeyes are not the absolute worst, but they have the capacity to be the worst. Sorry. And also a Chiefs fan. It's just nice to see you sharing the pain with the rest of us here.
I've always suffered.
Well, I mean, the Chiefs are doing great right
always
now,
in football. I mean, I almost never suffered in football. The Packers had like a 4-12 season.
Well, that's true. You're also a Kings fan, which is not anything.
Yeah, I do cheer for a professional basketball team that hasn't had a winning season in about 10 years.
Yeah.
The Penguins suffered for a long time to get where they are now because their team is made up of like 4 number 1 draft picks. So they had a lot of shitty years. The Diamondbacks are kind of mired in mediocrity right now. Anyone who's listening to this and knows about sports is like, how is he a fan of like all these?
All these.
There's like a little map around the United States.
I like to think they form a smiley face.
You've got like Arizona down here. No, it's more like an oval. Like it really is like around the perimeter of the country. You've got Arizona,
and if you go to
Sacramento,
the epicenter, there's you.
Wisconsin, Pittsburgh, North Carolina.
Right.
It's an oval.
Did you move a lot as a child? Is that?
I did not.
He picked them out of a fucking hat. No, there's a story.
There's a story for most of them. I don't remember why I'm a Packers fan, and neither do my parents. It's really baffling.
Really?
It just came.
I thought your parents were Packers fans.
No, they weren't. Both my parents are Chiefs fans.
Do you have family in Wisconsin?
Not
How the fuck did that happen? You've always been a Packers fan.
I don't fucking know. It's the crazy part is I had a Cowboys blanket growing up.
Really?
That did not turn out.
Yeah, no. I picked like the arch enemy.
Even better.
Because in the 90s, the Packers and Cowboys played each other all the time for like NFC supremacy.
Oh, yeah.
I ended up picking the other guy. To this day, it's like a long-lost family mystery. But
the Packers, they found you.
That's they found me.
They found you.
I found God.
God found you.
At an early age, I found something to believe in.
There
like children find God. I found the
Brett
Packers.
Favre,
Brett Favre came down on a rainbow.
Come with me, little boy.
Riding a fucking unicorn with a cheese head over its spike.
Yeah, man. Did the unicorn also have a cheese head, like the horn poking up?
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't have the horn, it had that.
It just had a cheese head.
The cheese.
And he was like,
Cheese-a-corn.
Son, come to Wisconsin.
Cheese-a-corn.
I won't.
I was
I'll
like,
watch your
I'm going to
games.
stay here, but you're a cool guy anyway.
That's great.
I love it.
The rest of them I can sort of explain. The Diamondbacks I picked because they had a cool fucking name.
Well, and they were new.
Yeah,
it is a cool name.
They were new and exciting and fresh, and it was like snakes.
That's a great reason.
The Penguins I also picked simply because of their name. My mom was dating a guy who was into hockey. This was obviously after the divorce. I was probably like 11 or 12, and he was into hockey, and he got both of us into hockey. Conversely, his team was the Phoenix Coyotes, who my mom adopted alongside.
Oh, wait. Did you say coyotes?
Coyotes.
Attaboy.
Yeah, that's how you say that.
Right?
Oh, that is.
Yeah, it's like
some people say coyote.
That is
wrong.
No. Like that is how you say it.
Yeah. So
I got into the Packers because I do have family in Wisconsin,
Yeah.
And they say coyotes.
oh, they say coyotes.
Oh, I'll bet they do.
All of them say coyotes.
but yeah,
So I adore it when people say the correct pronunciation.
well, I'm glad I could be here for you.
I appreciate it.
So they went that way, but I obviously was already a fucking rebel, and I was like, fuck that shit. Show me a list of teams. I was like, there's some Penguins. Penguins! Okay.
I love Penguins.
That one. The Sacramento Kings I follow because when I was 12 or 13, one of my friends got NBA Street.
No.
Nice.
Which is fucking awesome. By the way, we need to play some NBA Jam. Like,
yes, we do.
ASAP.
I love how that's become kind of like a staple whenever we go to Barcade.
It's such a good game.
It's
so
I'm
fun.
loving it even more now that I have because I rented it once when I had a Genesis.
Yeah.
But
dude, I have it for Super Nintendo. We could be playing it like any day
that's
of the week.
spectacular. Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the only person I had who would like play video games with me at that age was my dad.
Yeah.
Right.
And he would, and half the time he'd be like, no. Like
NBA or just games.
Just games in general.
Oh, I see.
So,
We should mention my
He played Teenage
incredible
Mutant Ninja
game
Turtles
of,
with me.
oh no,
of
fuck
NBA
you.
Jam.
We're not,
Yes!
we're not talking about that.
I would be fine
You
mentioning
fuck
that.
right
I want
up.
to talk about the power of God himself.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
God fucking picked you. It's like, for 10 minutes, you get obscene three-point
Oh
shooting
my
powers.
God.
He
It
could
was-
not be stopped.
It was at Barcade, which is this. We've talked about Barcade.
Yeah, we talked about Barcade.
I think
but
the crowd knows.
To sum it back up for new listeners, it's just a bar that has video games in it.
Yeah.
Fucking
and I was
arcade
playing
cabinets and also big TVs you can play like Xbox and PS3.
and it was
It's
you
our
and
dream,
Mitch
basically.
and me and Caitlin, my girlfriend, who obviously not the
God love her, but she's not
God love
playing
her,
NBA
but
Jam.
not cut out for NBA Jam. I think she might have scored
NBA
like 4
Jam.
points or something.
She got a few.
Yeah.
She was there.
Yeah.
And I got like I
Oh.
don't know 70 or
70 points.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
pretty down to the wire.
that will never happen again. It's one of those things like I was just feeling the magic.
Well, and it's worth noting that like Mitch and I had a pretty good thing going.
We
no, you
did.
guys were doing
For the
great.
most
It was
part,
down to the
we were
buzzer.
able to score
I mean,
well. The crazy part about this fucking game is that Ian kept just getting the ball and just railing shots off the perimeter. We would occasionally get like a half-decent block up against him, but he would usually just kind of like turbo to the perimeter and throw up the shot before we could get there to defend it right.
Because the guy was.
Speaking of which, I finally learned how to turbo.
In the first or second quarter, I'm
Which
like,
is the only time I'll be
okay,
able
this
to
is
say
really
that
cute. This is adorable. And I'm telling Mitch, I'm like, don't worry about it. He's not going to be able to hit those all game.
I was agreeing with you too.
I was like, yeah, he's just going to keep hitting them. If we just get there and get the rebounds, we've got this covered. Like, there's no way he can hit these all game. He hit them all game. It came down to the fucking buzzer. He needed a 3 to win.
And it was half court.
Yeah, and he drilled it from half
got
court.
it.
Just
Beautiful.
with the fucking power of God in him, and he beat us. And it's
But also stealing like a madman, which I usually can't.
yeah, you got a
do.
few good steals.
Well, what I found
No,
funny was like his character was like what 5 feet,
Yeah, and you're this
and my
giant
character
of a
was like
man.
this giant,
And I kinda
and
shove
he
you,
kept
'cause in
on like
NBA Jam,
pushing
you
me
just push
off
him.
like out of the like even out of the arena.
So
Well, there was at least one super cathartic moment in that game for me, where I think it was the only time we got a clean block on one of your 3-pointers.
Yes.
Was you fucking took a 3, I jumped up in your face and literally stole it with the block.
I went
and
up
then
to
I
you and
turboed it
it's
down
like I
the
handed it
court,
to you.
slam dunked it, and broke the
broke
glass.
the thing. Yeah.
That was pretty damn.
It was really cathartic for the moment it happened.
Yeah, I was
So it
afraid that
like,
was
yeah,
going to be the end of my
fuck
momentum.
you.
I went for the 3, and I might as well just like passed it like a foot over to him in the air. He just ran down and destroyed the net.
It's pretty cool. I didn't
Which
know
I didn't
you
understand
could do
why
that
that
in
ever
that
would
game.
Oh yeah,
I
sure.
just turbo dunked it. I think like 1 out of every 10 that you.
It's just a
Cool.
random thing.
I don't know
I don't
exactly
know.
how it works. It's an old game. It's whatever.
There's
So
somebody
now-
listening that's like, no, man, you got to do this and this and this.
Yeah.
So now that we're kind of like back on video games, I would have this happened to me like last week. I made my joke about life points or whatever. I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro on my computer a lot lately,
Uh-huh.
and I was playing this one guy, and the only other person who I've really played with, I showed my deck to him, and he saw me play a couple games, and he just went, "Dude, you are an asshole." And normally you can't say that about many decks. Normally you're like, that was strong. It was good. Only with this deck, and I've gotten really good with it. Like this has been my
Is it
best
similar
one.
to the one that I played back in the day?
Oh, it's worse.
Oh.
It is exactly what he says. I am an asshole. I have
playing you like it causes me physical pain.
This one will kill you if that's the case. Like this one is my worst
worst stand class.
Yes, like
you used the dark magic.
Oh God, I am Sidious. I am amazing. So I was playing.
I'm fucking killing younglings, man. You have no fucking idea.
Left and right. So I'm playing this one guy, and I'm not used to this because not many people like.
Not used to what?
I'll explain.
Okay.
As a cool thing with this
I didn't
program.
get to it. Sorry.
A cool thing with this program is, if you want, you can spectate games.
Sure.
So you will see blanks until they show up on the field. And you can, if you want, you can type in, like, as a cool thing with this feature, you can type in notes to, like, that will be shown to spectators and the opponent and whatever.
So you can be a part of the chat, you can be a part of the conversation,
Yeah.
just like an audience member.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
So me and this guy are going at it, and I am I'm full asshole. Like I am.
I like to know you said
asshole.
we're going at
I
it.
know.
And I'm full asshole.
As I say that,
I mean,
when I say that, I just mean
full
literal
asshole.
sense.
full asshole.
I mean,
guy,
what I mean
All
by that
asshole
is
today.
whenever he does anything, I have a counter and use it. The guy is not getting...
Everything's coming up you.
Everything's coming up Millhouse. Nothing is working for this guy. And this spectator, it's very obvious that he's a guy, but he is the guy equivalent of a woo girl.
What?
So whenever, like, me or my opponent would play like
I
a
get
big combo, I would see, oh! And he would type it. He would type it.
Oh dang!
He would type it every single time, the
Oh,
got bigger and bigger. Like the first
Wow.
O was
He's an
like
excitable man.
the first O was like 11 O's,
Right.
and so like by
Exponential increase.
but like turn 7, it was like oh, like 17 O's.
I want to believe this guy got like hammered and then just popped online.
I would love that.
He was like,
oh shit, man! Oh shit!
He's got a handle. He's like, oh dang!
So eventually, like, because me and my opponent are
Oh,
talking.
you didn't.
Like me and my opponent
So
are
it's literally just this
talking-
one guy
just
pulling
this
up
guy.
the chat room.
And we keep seeing his message like show up.
That's great.
So like after like 8 or 9 turns, not only has the opponent realized that he can't do anything, the spectator has realized it. So there's this great moment where like my opponent brought out like had been struggling, like I had been dominating this whole game, and out of this guy had like one big play. Out of nowhere, he's like, "All right, this," and as soon as like he played the first card of like this huge chain,
Right.
the guy just goes, "Let him try." And so by the time he's done with his chain, and the guy's like, "Yes, I got a big fucking monster. I'm gonna kill you," and I flipped one card that was the perfect card, and I shut him down, and the guy went, "Oh!" Like
He didn't let him try.
like 2 lines worth of O's, and like I just destroyed this combo that he spent.
that
Like it was
poor man.
the last play, and I broke
Yeah, that's
him.
the absolute worst. It's like, all right, I'm shifting momentum. All these cards, the
Yes.
planets are aligning, and then they're just like, boop.
Nope.
And,
Black hole.
oh, I wish I had a guy like that for all the time.
Oh, yeah.
That
No,
was
I-
putting
I-
a rocket
I-
in
I-
any
If this
video
guy
game.
can just follow me and just
Yeah.
anytime I do something cool,
If this guy could spectate every game I ever play, I would love it. I mean,
I buy like pickles on
I would
sale
be
for
online now.
50 cents, and he's like,
I want to
"Oh."
go to Barcade and be that guy. Just like
Be
slip
that
into
guy.
someone's booth and say like playing Mario Kart or something, and someone wins. I'm like, ah!
If you drink enough, you will be that.
I
man.
will.
I mean,
the best.
Let's
the
make a
best
plan out of that.
The
We
best
all
moment
go
of that
all
game
that
was
time.
there was this moment where
Forever.
both me and my opponent knew I won.
right.
There was this glorious, like, telepathic connection about I don't know where he was in the U.S. or across state, because sometimes I've played a couple German guys, believe it or not.
I believe you.
I'm pretty sure I've gotten sworn at by German guys. Blue Eyes White Dragon.
I don't think that's a German accent.
No. I think I've mentioned on this podcast I can't do German.
That was a little Asian.
So, that's all I can do.
Okay.
In my Asian
all I can do is a little Asian.
Just a little Asian. Not a big Asian.
My life would
just
be
a little
great if that was all I could.
Not a big Asian, just a little.
Total asshole. I was doing him. There was this fantastic moment where both me and my opponent realized that I was going to win.
Right.
But he didn't surrender. He didn't lose connection on
GG
purpose.
or anything.
He literally was like, "I will."
Going down with the ship.
He's like, "I will go down with the ship." Yes, that's a really good way of putting it. And right before I did my final attack, the spectator of all of this game goes, "Dude, I want that deck." All of his. By the way,
you can speak.
If I was losing,
by the way,
I would hate that man like so much. He might as well be yelling into my ear every time I get my ass kicked. He's like, "Oh shit!"
Well, what helped was like the spectator was doing it whenever anything big happened.
Yeah.
So there was this one play where like the final play before I shut it down with the one card, like he did all of these things to bring out this giant monster, and the guy was like, "Whoa!" Like he was taking his side, and then it was like, "Beep." And he went, whoa! Like even louder, and so like he was for both sides. He was honestly watching this game.
He was just there to have some fun.
He was just excited. He was happy to be there.
Yeah.
Yes, and so like right before my final move, he just went, "Dude, I want that deck of yours."
Right.
And like before, like this was the only time I spoke in the game. I was just like, "Thanks, dude." And he was like, and immediately, like right after I said that, he went all caps, "La la 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 la." And then I win, and my opponent went GG, and I went good game too. And the opponent was like spectator, or whatever, was like, "Dude, I'm gonna follow your ass."
Maybe he's gonna stick around. You're gonna get.
I really hope I see him again.
Fan club.
I really hope I see him again.
You got a
because
fan that day.
Eventually, you're gonna come up with like 5 people all dropping the woos.
oh god, like
It's my entourage.
I love the guy because he wasn't only going woo with me. Anytime anything happened, he was like woo, and I just went, "Oh, dude, you were so."
Dude, I got a
entertaining."
bag of Milky Ways.
Yeah. Buddy, you ever seen a laser pointer? No. What is it?
Oh my god.
So,
that's
my
good.
brief Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro story that's been entertaining.
I want that guy with me.
Yeah, it was very, very funny.
Also in the what?
I got one more plug, I guess, for that show. Yesterday, I've been breaking out. For those of you who play Yu-Gi-Oh!, you'll know this, which is like maybe one of you.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to you, man.
If we had any like reputation, any kind of face, I think we've just lost it in the mentioning of those things.
Yu-Gi Man.
I mean, we've done previously quite a bit of damage.
We
to
have.
reputation.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't cool anymore?
Wait,
Yu-Gi
guys,
Man
what?
Digivolve.
Was it
It was kind of an itch.
I think even when everybody was playing it, it wasn't.
It was only cool with the fucking 12-year-olds that were playing.
That's
it.
right.
I still have my deck.
No
You were all
offense,
like, no, I get it.
because we're all losers who played it well.
Exactly.
That's that. So there's
they
no
recently
judgment.
they recently came up with a whole bunch of support for Cyber Dragon, which is already a good card. The support has made it
That's Zane's
very,
card.
very cool to play the card.
It's already pretty cool. I mean, it's a robotic
Cyber Twin Dragon.
Dude,
How can you not say that?
he's
Feel
got
good about
even
yourself.
better.
Yeah.
Like he's that card that was already pretty good has gotten a lot of support lately in the game, and it's kind of nice because that shows me that the company Konami is actually like
I
trying
forget that that's made by Konami.
A lot of people do.
Konami.
One of the great giants of
Kabuka.
nerd.
What's your guys' favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card?
Yu-Gi-Oh card?
My initial
Oh, man.
favorite,
I thought about
my
that.
original favorite was, and I get this from Mako.
What?
Super
What?
dork right
The
now.
legendary fisherman?
Yeah.
The one that just
originally-
looks like
That's pretty
him?
cool.
Yeah. Originally,
But on
I
like
play
but on like a
myself
shark.
on a whale.
originally that
That's
was it.
right.
Because like when he came out in the game, like strategy was just becoming a thing in that game.
No, you see,
And he would like I brought him out
remember
of the field,
back in
and
the
no
day-
one could do anything.
yeah, I remember back in the day when strategy didn't really exist in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
just cards with numbers on them.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And you had like the Cheerful Coffin, which is like put 3
Stupid.
cards in your graveyard, which now can be used to some sort of success.
Kind of.
But back in the day, it was like
useless.
It served
It came
literally
out
no
and all of us
purpose
went,
whatsoever.
What's the point?
Can I emphasize that point for a second
Yes.
with a personal story? This is quick.
Go for it.
When Yu-Gi-Oh was first coming out, I went to a tournament at the fucking mall with a friend of mine.
Nice.
Right.
He like came up to me at school. He's like, "I'm going to go to a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament tomorrow. You want to come?" I'm like, "Yeah." I didn't even have any cards yet.
Nice.
I went to the fucking store that night and bought a Kaiba starter deck.
You either got
Dude,
the Kaiba-
I went to the tournament the next day and actually won 3 games.
Yeah, you
Nice.
did.
That emphasizes how little there was to that game.
Yeah.
You could pick up a starter deck and compete.
Oh yeah. Back in the day, like when the cards were just coming out, it was all really
Because
no
there was
strategy.
really the one set then. It was that Blue Eyes White Dragon set.
Oh, yeah.
It was just
And if you
all
had
these
Blue
fucking
Eyes, you
nonsense
won.
cards, and if you read the rules and just knew how to play it.
No, I
you could
remember
win
like
anything.
I don't know, Street Yu-Gi-Oh played at my
yeah.
middle school during
Oh,
lunchtime
God.
and
Yeah.
elsewhere.
Yeah.
Same with mine.
It was
Yu-Gi-Oh.
literally Street Yu-Gi-Oh at like our school because they probably started cracking down on that shit after a while, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they did it
At
mine too.
my
yeah.
middle school, they had a problem cracking down on anything. It was a new.
They cracked down
It
on
was a
Pokemon
new high
cards
school.
hard.
Yeah, I remember
They
that.
did. They did.
I remember
Even to
that.
this day, I think
That was like
Pokemon still-
contraband.
It was, but it didn't stop anyone. I remember going, being on the bus going to elementary school, and people had their binders.
But it
and
was
their
great, dude.
trade
They
and
were like
shit.
drug deals. Like you'd be
I know!
out at recess, like tucked into the corner of the basketball court,
It's like, yo,
pulling out your like.
I got a
cards, like,
Blastoise.
I got this.
I'll
Venusaur.
trade you an Abra
Got this
for a
Venusaur.
Machop.
Oh shit, teacher's coming. Act cool.
It's just like that cool, man.
Stuff it away. He's like, yeah, tetherball. Fucking rad.
Man, I love Foursquare. I'd play it, but I'm tired right
I
now.
would
could've
play
been giving
Foursquare, but
drugs
I'm
and
too
got the
busy
same
hating Pokemon
response.
cards.
No, it was totally.
It's a hollow foil. You better pay up.
No,
I
okay.
remember those days.
And that's what led to the popularity of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because they cut down on Pokemon, and then at some point it I don't know, was no longer the fad
Yeah, I
to some
remember that.
degree, and then it switched over to
Rise
Yu-Gi-Oh!
of Yu-Gi-Oh.
But Yu-Gi-Oh! Was huge, especially at the school that I went to. I remember
mine
this
too.
one occasion. This was in Florida, so we have hallways that are outside. And it probably sounds really strange to the Midwesterners.
Well, we had a few outdoor classrooms in middle school and junior high because that was when the overcrowding was really starting.
Right, but it wasn't like we had portables as
But,
well.
yeah, but you were
But I mean, the
literally,
hallways
like,
were literally like outside. We didn't have any
like the shit you
inside
see on like
hallways.
TV. I've seen like TV shows with like high school.
Yeah,
kids.
it's because they're all filmed in LA, probably.
LA
Where they
and
have that
Florida.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in Florida we have those ones. So I'm walking, and it's a 2-story. It's a big fucking high school. Like they put a lot of money into it, and it I don't know. It kind of failed because they put grades like 6 to 12 in the same building.
That's not
Which
going
was
to be an
yeah,
issue
it was
at all.
awful.
That's going to be great.
In the first year, they had $40,000 worth of vandalism. I
Christ.
know. Anyway, I'm walking down, going to class, and a guy just drops from the second floor railing. He just
Bam!
bam,
His Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
just lands on the ground, and it's like, holy shit! And the teacher
want
looks
my
at me, he's
dark
like, go to the
magician.
principal. I'm like, gotcha! And I just fucking bolt for the principal. And I
Just
feel
watch
like
the
a
kid
hero.
die.
It's like, oh my god, is that kid dead? What the fuck happened? And I learned later
Oh, I'm excited.
he was dared by a student. It's like, I will give you the head of Exodia
Not even money.
if you jump from the second floor. And as they got up, being the douchebags they were, they pushed the kid off, and he fell to the ground. And I don't
Did you
know.
get the head of
Did
Exodia?
you just get it?
I think he did.
Okay, good. Because that was the coolest thing
He
in
was
the
like
world
bleeding
when
from
that
the
came
forehead
out.
and shit, and it's like, I wonder if that kid was like so worth it. But I mean, that's how fucking popular that shit was. That people do stupid
God.
stuff because it was like more
better than
valuable.
drugs, man.
Yeah, it's more valuable
almost
than
worse
gold.
than
I mean,
drugs.
absolutely.
Give you an ounce if you jump off this fucking staircase.
Come on.
So anyway, the point I was making with this one was, so I made a Cyber Dragon deck or whatever, and I'm play testing it online, and I'm having fun. The reason I play online is because I don't have the funds to play in real life anymore.
Yeah, that's,
No one
that costs
our
money.
age does.
No,
I think.
it's some of these cards will come out and their prices
Unless
so
you got
high.
parents buying them
that
for
are
you when you're like a
ridiculous.
little kid.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but I think like people at our like age group are in this period of flux where it's like we don't have like allowances and like not having to buy anything anymore.
Yeah.
But we're also not like financially set and secure and able to buy these things.
Yeah, so we
We're in this
certainly
period
can't
where we're
support
like,
these fucking
we make
good
like
hobbies.
decent money. We have to pay for our bills in college. I don't have
Rent
money
and
for
stuff.
fucking
Oh, yeah.
cards.
Yeah.
You know,
Are you
like,
kidding me? Yeah,
good
bottom
cards,
rung of
too.
the
especially good
leagues.
cards. Like,
yeah.
I'm either gonna buy like good cards or I'm gonna play fucking booster pack roulette for like.
Yeah.
Hope you get.
And God knows that's probably more expensive.
Oh man, when you were a kid, that was like the most exciting moment.
Oh, God.
I
I love
literally
that.
blew almost all my allowance on packs of Yu-Gi-Oh.
I
Oh
did
yeah,
blow my
always.
allowance
If
on
I had
Yu-Gi-Oh.
any
The
money to
day I
spend,
found
it's
out they
a-
stopped making the Mewtwo card for the first Pokemon set was the day I got my first one in the booster pack, and I went,
That's
I'm
awesome.
never trading this or selling it. And
Did I ever tell
still
my
have it.
Zapdos story on here? I think I did.
No, but you should.
Let me quick
Alright.
finish mine. I'm almost done.
All right.
So I'm playing this guy. I have a cool Cyber Dragon deck, all the new support, whatever. And I'm like, dude, I want to try this. It'll be fun. Playing this guy, I had this huge, great lead on him early game. Cinderella Story was owning me
Right.
out of nowhere. I have like 1,000 points left in my name, which in the game is not much at all.
Just in
1/8
case
of your life.
Yes, I'm almost dead.
Because they
If
like
you-
having large numbers in
the
Yu-Gi-Oh.
large numbers sadly don't mean much when
No.
you can get
They
even.
like the thousands a lot.
They
You
like
can literally
the
drop
4
the
digits.
last-
It's not like
Yeah.
Magic
First
the
digit
Gathering,
running
where it's
for
like, oh, I have 2 life
Single
left.
digits.
Wow, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically like, oh, you have 1,200. You are fucked. that's
totally
what happens
different,
nowadays.
Totally different volume.
So I was down to like only a handful of cards left, almost dead, and I know we have a spectator, but he hasn't really been saying anything. That's fine.
He's just spectating.
He's just spectating, like what you're supposed to be doing. So
Not
I'm
moving.
in Shit Creek. Guy has like several face downs, which in the game could mean anything.
Sure. Mystery card.
Mystery card. You've activated my trap card, which is always the case. So I'm literally like, this is. I have one big move.
You can see the end.
Yes, I can see the end. If I mess up this one move, I'm gone. So I'm like, I'm gone either way. I might as well risk it.
Right.
So I threw out a handful of cards that I was like, if this works, maybe awesome. So I threw it all out on the board, and I end up with this monster who can hit. My opponent maybe has like 4 creatures in play.
Mm-hmm.
I throw out almost half of my points in this combo alone, just making it work. And I bring it out, and I bring out this giant Hydra of a cyber dragonic monster thingy.
Some sort of crazy robot man.
Yes. And I'm just like, this. If this works, if his face down is a bluff, one of those moments.
Right.
So I get it out. My math was off by a little bit. My guy was stronger than I thought he would be.
Good.
So
Failure in
it
math.
was a good failure in math. One
That's
of the
good.
few in that game. So he comes out, and my opponent, and me and my, whenever I play this, normally me and the opponent don't talk. If we're doing a match, we might get a have fun, good luck, if I'm lucky.
Right.
Suddenly, out of nowhere, I bring out this giant mecha Hydra beast
and he's-
fucker.
And he's like, oh fuck.
He sends me this like emoticon that's like the giant eyes, and he's like, "Oh." And so like I bring in a monster that's more stronger than I thought he would be, and I'm doing the like new math in my head, going,
It's new, man.
"Dude, I won. I think I got him."
Yeah.
And I went attack, because he's a Hydra. He
And
can
he-
do that.
yeah,
and the guy went,
Shit.
"Shit."
And that was
Well, it was great because I immediately got the ooh eyes, and then he went, "Shit." Good game.
GG.
I kind of applauded. It was
That's
like
the
maybe
thing.
1 a.m. My
Like-
roommates are passed up, and I just kind of started applauding, me like, "You're a decent human being. Thank you." On the internet.
That's the
which
thing
is
about
hard to
Yu-Gi-Oh!
find.
Like of all the card games I've played, that's the one that you can just turn the tables in about
Yeah.
5
Yu-Gi-Oh!
seconds.
turns on a fucking dime.
Yeah,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is awesome,
Especially in
and
today's
also
game.
just like so incredibly
Especially in today's
frustrating.
game.
So
Back in the day,
incredibly
you got out
frustrating.
like blue eyes, you would win.
Kings won. Woo.
Yeah, but like
Well, that's good.
it's fun. Like the
should try
game,
that
the game's
sometime.
gotten a lot more complicated,
We
but
should also
they're-
play Magic again.
It's kind of fun. I wouldn't mind trying
You
Magic.
fucking destroy your deck.
Oh my god, that is
You
just
need
the
to
best
play
thing
my
I've ever
roommate
created.
Whitey, by the way.
Okay.
He's kept all his old school
No,
cards.
yeah, okay. I talked to your buddy Whitey about Magic, and
Yeah.
he was talking about like
Yeah.
ranting to me about how Magic has just gone down the shitter, and it's not Gary's
Yeah.
game and stuff like that.
He's not too thrilled about how it turned out.
Yeah, I just had no response for the man like, as he was going
I
on
don't
about.
either
It's like, I
because
can't help you.
I don't know what to
He
say.
believed very strongly in what he was talking
All
about.
I know is
but it's-
we've actually played like a 3-person game at our house,
sure.
and he lent me this deck that he's been bragging.
So you guys play Legacy, which is to say, everything.
All cards in play.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So he lent me his old school deck that apparently by today's standards wouldn't be legal.
Definitely.
So incredible. Yeah, Magic started out kind
Well, it's
of
the
like
same
as
with
opposed to Yu-Gi-Oh, where
yeah.
shit started off really weak.
Yeah.
Magic started off like
Insane.
like crazy
Very
Ali from
strong.
Cairo,
Oh, yeah.
you know, bullshit, and then kind of mellowed out as time went
So
on.
he gave me his like badass, like actually bought sleeves for his cards deck.
Sure.
And he's playing with one, and then Josh is playing with one that he also lent him, and we're playing. And I lost the game only because I finally realized what this deck could do halfway through the game. So I finally stopped, and even though I lost, I looked at him and I went, "This is stupid overpowered."
Right.
And I know very little about Magic, and
But you do.
And I knew right from the
You saw
get-go
the
that
Doomsday
was
machine.
stupid. Oomsday. And he just looked at me and he gave me this. He doesn't give me this face off, and he gave me this look with his
Big
mustache curling even more.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "Oh God!"
Yeah, that's the thing though. I
Shout
can't
out
really,
to Whitey Buddy.
I can't really agree with his opinion because it's just so broken. Like so much bullshit in older Magic that I'm fine with it getting fine with that getting mellowed out quite a bit. Makes it more enjoyable for new people because it's hard to have new people come in when you have this crazy bullshit that's completely legal. So
Well, plus it's not exactly like.
And if you want to play a
I've
freaking
always
legacy
found-
game, then you will find people who want to play a legacy
I've always found
game.
Magic a bit different because even to this day, like you could learn as much as you can about the game. There will still be that one card that people will be like, "Wait, what does that do?"
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
The library
As
of
opposed to
cards
like
So big.
is
because-
so
'cause
incredibly
nowadays,
huge. I mean, it's been
Yu-Gi-Oh,
around
yeah.
how long? Like, is it 2 decades at this
Long
point? I'm not
time,
sure.
yeah.
long time.
It's probably older.
I think it's older.
See,
than 2
which is
decades
cool
at this
because
point.
even in
And such a
Yu-Gi-Oh,
library
I don't.
of cards.
I've only been recently re-catching back up online. I still know like the generic what I'll be running into. Whereas opposed to Magic, you could be like against anyone and be like, "Wait, sorry, what is that?"
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And that's
which is
really
great.
Cool.
Which
Yeah,
is great. You're constantly grabbing like, oh, may I?
There are
You know,
always
grabbing their
different
cards.
cards
Like,
and
what the
reading
hell
it,
does this do? Yeah, it's
that's
really
kind of
great.
refreshing. Yeah.
Magic was introduced in 1993, so yeah, it's actually
Wow.
exactly
Wow.
20 years
It's
old.
exactly
decades.
I'm surprised I didn't hear a bigger fuss about it, actually.
Happy
For
anniversary,
the 20th
Magic.
birthday would be a pretty big deal, but I didn't.
You know, we
Nothing.
probably missed
Really,
it.
the original
Yeah.
card game. I feel
Yeah.
like
I want to tell one more thing about that Yu-Gi-Oh tournament I went to. I want to
Yes,
pass off to
I'm
you for your
I'm
Zapdos
excited.
story.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
That's a good ending story, and then I think we'll cut this off.
Sounds good.
That sounds good to me.
So I did remember one thing about that Yu-Gi-Oh tournament I went to, and it's weird. I usually immediately tell when I talk about the Yu-Gi-Oh tournament because this was easily the most notable thing that happened there. So I'm waiting in between games. I had just finished with my first opponent. You do 2 out of 3, and then
Yeah,
Sure.
you know, you
They
go
still-
back.
they still do that, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, that's a standard.
So-
yeah.
so I'm-
or a duel. They
I'm
call
just
it.
hanging around watching some of the rest
No,
of
it's
the competition.
Did a duel.
And these two fucking guys are playing each other. I watched this kid draw his starting hand of 5 cards,
Yeah.
and
Oh, I remember.
he
this.
looks pretty fucking excited. And I'm like, okay, he's got a good hand.
No
And-
poker face there.
No poker face at all, but he's looking good. So his opponent goes first and plays his card, and then the guy who's got the shit-eating grin on his face gets to take a turn. He draws a card, and his face lights up even more. Fucking turns his hand around.
Did he win?
1 card, and the other 5 are the pieces of Exodia.
I've seen that
shit.
happen.
Which,
I
Oh
lost
my
a
God.
bet because that happened.
to clarify, Yu-Gi-Oh! Non-knowers,
Yeah.
to have all 5 pieces of
You win the
Exodia
game.
in your
You
hand is an
instantly win.
instant win, and you're only allowed 1 of each in your deck. This was how it was at the time, and that is how it has always been.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
You can
never
have
changed.
only 1 of each. The odds of drawing all 5 of them in your first 6
Astronomical.
cards
Very
of a
rare.
40-card deck are insane.
Yeah.
As I understood it, his first hand had the four Exodia
4.
pieces and a spare.
And then he's like,
And
holy
then,
shit.
and then his
he
first
drew.
card draw was the
Wow.
last piece. They fucking, like...
They checked the cameras,
Yeah.
didn't they? Like, oh my god, did he cheat?
Well, no, that's exactly... Like,
Because that's a stacked
everyone
deck.
everyone
Yeah,
watching it was
difficult.
befuddled, but, like, at this tournament, you had to cut your opponent's decks.
Yeah.
Like...
I've done that too.
Like
It's
most,
happened to me
like
too.
most tournament courtesies, I imagine they look at your deck before
Yeah.
you go in to, like... fucking,
Make sure you don't
I imagine they still do it now. They definitely did it back then.
Yes.
Like, flip
For
through your
the-
deck and make sure it's tournament legal.
For the huge tournaments nowadays, I think they actually like you're allowed a side deck of like 15 cards.
Sure.
Which during matches you can like
Yeah, in
substitute
between
cards.
games you can switch.
Yeah.
them.
I'm pretty sure in like the big tournaments that happen around the U.S. and even Japan, I'm pretty sure they write down every single card just so when you start up a new game, you don't have your extra side-in cards.
Yeah.
Like it's gotten crazy paranoid.
But it's
And so when shit like that's even happened to me once. And
Yeah.
it wasn't even where the guy got to draw one. Like
starting
Yes,
hand.
I made
starting
a-
hand Exodia.
I
that's
ran
great.
this is a quick story. I ran a Yu-Gi-Oh club in like middle school and high school, and but this one guy who was maybe like the second best player as opposed to me because he actually knew strategy, ran Exodia, and I had like a bet for the game, and he first freaking turn he drew his hand. And he's like, by the way, I kind of
I win.
and I cut his deck and everything like courtesy. Odds.
Well, yeah, that's
Through the
the
roof.
thing, man. Like they would have flipped through his deck. They'd seen it. It was tournament legal. His opponent cut his deck. It's just like,
Boom, and he won.
how does it fucking?
That sucks so bad to be
it
that guy.
hurts.
Like, I'm
Well,
so
it's-
ready. I got a good hand, and
At
yeah,
least
I
times
lost.
like that, you're like, thank God this is a 2 out of 3 kind of game.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
If you do that again, I'm leaving.
I was just like, that.
Then you can
fucking
kind of
kid's
prep
like
for
grin is like embedded in my brain.
Right.
The true, like I remember small details of my own duels, but fuck, do I remember the look on that guy's face when he pulled that shit. I was like,
Yeah,
are you
man.
fucking kidding me?
That's great.
So yeah, that
I'm
was
really
that was
curious what
interesting.
this Zapdos.
But
Okay.
yeah, you get a
super curious about what this is.
So this was, of course, in elementary school. So I was still in Florida, and I was getting into Pokemon cards, and I was still learning what was rare and what was not, and actually learning all of the
Strategy.
151 and everything like that. Because I
glorious
had been
age.
gypped out of. I think I got a Jolteon, right? It's all shiny, and a guy traded me a Jinx for it because he tricked me into it. You know, that kind of thing. You always had somebody like that.
yeah.
And ever
That
since
guy.
then, you know, I picked it up and
Oh, yeah.
learned what was really
Well,
important.
dude, a buddy of mine, I think, when I was in
It was
elementary
really
school,
rare.
traded, I believe, a Blastoise card for someone's Pokemon Blue game.
Really?
Yeah, and the guy was like,
He won that fucking trade.
What's
Damn.
even worse though is like I was friends with like both parties, and like so the person who like got the game was like, asshole,
Yeah.
you know, and like was playing a way of like at the time what a $40-$50 game for the Game Boy.
Oh, okay.
And what's even worse is the other party was like, I got that cheap. And I was like, oh my god, man.
Yeah, that's the way
So
it was.
yeah,
the value we put on those things.
that's
is
how it
insane.
was.
That's what I was learning. You know, I knew that I learned that Charizard was the most fucking valuable.
Dude,
you know,
yeah,
Blastoise.
it was.
And then you had
Always was and forever
Alakazam.
will be.
And then you had Zapdos, not the fossil kind, the original kind, right?
A good friend of mine's mom ran. This is quick. Sorry, I hate to interrupt. Sorry. Ran the Pokemon League for Toy Story, or not Toy Story, Toys R Us. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
And she actually made like a stained glass picture of that original Charizard art.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was that big a deal.
Yeah, it was huge. It was
Yeah.
huge. But anyway, I knew that Zapdos was one of the most valuable, and I think it was also, at the time, like my personal favorite as a child.
I
As
can
the Lightning Bird.
confirm that Zapdos was one of the 5 rarest cards. In
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah,
original
that was
no,
the
it
case.
was through the roof.
That was the
yeah.
case.
It was Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, the 3 starters, and
Alakazam and Zapdos. Yeah.
That sounds
big
right.
5. Yep.
And I got my pack, and the fucking Zapdos was in it, and I was absolutely elated.
It's the
Like,
best
oh
one.
shit, fuck that Jolteon. Man, I got a Zapdos.
I fucking
Fuck that kid.
upgraded! Lightning Burn!
And it's like, I'm never going to play it, I'm never going to touch it, you know? It is only to be looked at.
This is perfect!
And of course, you know, little kid, and I was like, I want to put this on top of the fridge so that all can see when they enter, like this trophy put up there. It's funny for me thinking about this.
The things
And
we
I left
think
it
as
up there.
children.
Yeah. Went off to school. It came back. And this is in Florida. Where we're talking about it's very hot. It's very humid.
Oh, I think you told me this.
And I walk in. And it's curled into a little roll because the heat and the moisture was so much that it's a foil. And foils had that thing.
It's
where
even worse than
Yes.
Yeah.
And it had rolled into like this little thing, tally destroyed the
Perfect
card.
little Zapdos joint.
And like, yes. And of course I
old
was
were you?
devastated. No, I don't know.
Okay.
It's probably like 4th grade, 3rd grade or something. Yeah, absolutely devastated. And my parents, I think they felt bad for me or something and got me another pack or something because I lost that awesome card. And I got another Zapdos. I grew up, it's like, the universe was like,
What
kid,
the
you're really
hell?
stupid, but we feel for you. Here's another fucking Zapdos. And That one I kept in a fucking plastic,
You
like
know the
in the
fucking-
driest, coolest place in the house.
Put it in the fucking freezer.
That's right. Keep it in the freezer.
You know
It
the
cannot
fucking-
be harmed by Florida.
You know what the fucking problem is, Ian?
What?
When we are born, God bestows unto each child one miracle.
One miracle!
To be used throughout all of their lifetime.
And mine was
you
the
use
second
yours in a
Zapdos.
fucking Pokemon.
Still though, dude, at the time, I'm sure your
I mean, that was
expression
incredible.
when you got that second one out of, again, a booster.
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
were probably like,
sure.
where already the odds are terrible.
We're really on
But
an
to do it
astronomical
twice,
odds tangent
I mean,
right now.
yeah. Oh my god. It was the it was like the greatest moment of that grade or something like that. As small as
Dude,
my world was. But that's awesome.
I always
That's
believe
awesome.
in the phrase, it's the little things that count. And
Yeah.
so when you get that fucking card, you're like, I made it! I am among kings!
And it wasn't like it happened later, like, oh, I got another one. These next
That's awesome.
fucking pack. And it was the same guy.
I love that fucking story.
That's so
That's a
great.
great story.
Alright.
I want to save this for another one, but I want it on air that I'm making this note. I also want you to, at one point, tell your Elite Four Pokemon story from way back in the day.
I could, well, do you want me to save that or do you want me to drop that one here?
And if you can tell it quick, go for it. It's a pretty good little
excited.
active
I
guy.
love
So
No,
obviously,
in the worst way.
in
It's
the
not
worst
a
way.
good idea.
Yeah. We told a great story that was wonderful, and then we're going to tell a really terrible story.
I just remembered it existed. And I'm like, this is my favorite story.
So I was, of course, getting into Pokemon Red, as all kids did. And it was phenomenal. You know, it was a revelation. You played it every moment
Even
of
to
your
this
life.
day,
You know,
still.
my mom's driving me to school, and I am playing as much as I can because I can't play during
I remember when I
school.
wasn't playing it, I was just reading about it.
Yeah, trading
Yeah.
cards and
It
talking
was
about
all
it.
life
It
was.
was all Pokemon was all life was, and
You were watching the show,
Oh,
playing the
that's
game,
right.
or
24/7, yeah.
collecting the cards, or eating the cereal.
Absolutely.
What the fuck ever. Whatever you were doing, it was a fucking Pokemon
I
thing.
remember
and the
this.
board game and everything.
Oh, that board game.
was great. But I was playing
When we
it.
talk to Bruce, we'll see if we can play it for our
It'll
next.
make that
That'd be
fucking
fun.
happen.
That'd
We're
be
gonna
fun.
make that happen.
That'll change
That'll
my
be like way nostalgia. That'll be
Yeah.
fun.
That'd be
Absolutely.
incredible.
But I was at the Elite Four, you know, at the very end of the game, and I'm on my way to school, right? Oh my gosh, shit, I gotta finish this. I gotta fucking finish this shit. And I get through Elite Four, get to Lance, the champion, and his fucking dragon.
Dagrons?
Yeah, dragon terribleness. And I'm fighting the good fight. Like, it is blow for blow. Like, I'm not dominating here. This is the first time I've played it. I don't understand how to totally dominate. So, you know, winging a prayer, and I'm getting down the wire.
Slash.
And I get down to it, and it's his godly Dragonite
His big one.
and my Haunter, because nobody, I didn't have a trade table. So, no Gengar, just Haunter.
He looks cooler anyway.
And let's see, we fought like those two fought forever to the point where Dragonite started to run out of moves except for Barrier. That's right. Like that much fighting was going on, which is like hundreds of turns or something. I mean, it's less than that.
Several turns.
Several fucking
It would
turns.
have been a lot. I mean, Dragonite used a lot of powerful moves, so it would have had low PP on most of them.
Even then, that's a lot of
You're
turns.
still looking at least like 25, 30 turns before it
Yeah.
gets to that, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it wasn't all Haunter. Like he had knocked down my team, and Haunter was all
Probably,
that was left. And as his like very last move before he had just Barrier, and then I guess struggle after that, he used like Ice Beam and froze Haunter.
Now it is important
It
to
is
know.
important to note, in the original Pokemon, when a Pokemon is frozen, it
You are
cannot
fucked.
come unfrozen, and I had no way to get rid of it because I used everything I had getting to this point. Everything
in
I
current
had.
Pokemon games, they will fall
They were
out on their own
gone.
after a
But in
while.
the original, they were fucking screwed. They were basically an
Well,
empty
though,
seed.
also the odds of becoming frozen were very slim.
But it
so
happened.
when it happened, you're kind of screwed.
And because Hunter is a ghost, he's immune to normal moves. So what I had found is that I was stuck in this infinite loop where Dragonite would use Struggle, which was normal, miss, and then I would do nothing.
Because you were frozen.
Because I was frozen, and there was literally no way
So
out.
you were caught in an
in an
infinite
infinite
loop
loop
on the final
on
boss
the
of the
last
game.
fucking Pokemon of the game to win, and I had to make the worst decision ever and shut it off. Had to kill, had to put it
That's all you
down.
got.
Oh my god, I couldn't believe it. Like, part of me was like satisfied that in a way I almost like broke the game,
You kind of did.
but it wasn't enough to deal with just the
But not
killing
in a
me
good way.
inside of having to shut that off
You know,
after that great fight.
I've been watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Lately, and that fucking Battle City arc where Yugi fights the mime and beats him when he's in the loop.
yeah.
And there's like the last 2 minutes of the episode where Merrick is just incredulous. He's like, "How? How could he do this to me?" And I'm
like, that
picturing you
was
with like
me.
the same thing. How?
It was just the perfect
This
setup.
cannot be.
The perfect fucking setup. I mean, talk about one of the 3 Pokemon where that would have been
There
impossible.
were only 3 ghost types.
Only, oh my
Oh,
god.
wow, that's right.
And in later ones, Struggle, I'm pretty sure it still works against Ghost.
I believe it does, simply to
works against
avoid
ghost
things
now?
like that.
I'm
But
pretty
I
sure.
might be wrong, but that would make sense.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they fixed that. In order to fix that fucking scenario where. Oh my god.
Well, if
So that
struggling
was the last
hits,
one.
you do damage against yourself, but since it wasn't,
But it
Because it
wouldn't
wasn't
connect,
hit
so
yet.
it didn't do any
it didn't
damage.
matter.
Which is ironic, because if you were like frozen in a block of ice,
You think you would just kind of
You
battle?
think it wouldn't phase
it just
through
pushes you off.
Yeah.
You know,
Fuck it. Sit on him, Dragonite. So that was my first time getting to the Elite Four ever.
And it was.
That's a terrible.
At least you've got a good story. out of it.
That's right. It's definitely a story.
And
But anyway,
you've destroyed them now.
I did, and I went back and I fucking killed them.
Yeah,
It's so hard.
Because you knew what you were up against.
I'm pretty sure I sent out Haunter just to set the record straight. Just to
Listen,
be like,
man, listen.
not frozen
And
this
even
time,
though, even
motherfucker.
though you're playing the game, you can still hear his like the cackle from the anime.
Yeah, not frozen. So yeah, that's the last.
That's a
story.
good end.
So, does
so
anyone have anything they need to plug real quick? Anything you're working on?
Did our last one get uploaded when we tested out these mics?
It's not my place to know.
Okay, I'll try plugging this again.
Jake, did we update it?
This weekend, 2 high schools productions that I guess I've worked on now are opening. Glendale High School and Springfield are doing Fiddler on the Roof with a set that is completely my own. Almost
Awesome.
95% of that was built by me.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
I am seeing this strictly to see my own work in action. That is happening this weekend, and also this weekend is Hillcrest High School's performance of Snoopy.
Right.
I got to go be a part of it last night, where I did their sound. Both are very. I've only seen Snoopy. It's a very cute show. The kids who are good actors are dynamite. The rest are going to have good potential.
That's a
The
very
rest of
nice
them
way
are
to softball it. Sorry.
They're great kids. I'm so excited to see them perform legit. Where I'm not, I love seeing them actually perform when I'm not working the show, because I can actually just watch the show.
Right.
And that's a different experience watching it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm very excited
So
to
worrying,
watch it,
yeah.
so I don't have to worry about technical issues and acting issues. So I'm very, very excited to go see that this weekend. If you're in town, we've got a lot of cool shows. Parkview High School, which I did not have a part of, is doing Hairspray,
No.
which is a very world-renowned one, even though I'm very indifferent. Don't know how they have a talent for it. Mostly because it's other reasons. A lot of good shows. I heard Drury College just finished up their run of Full Monty, which apparently went very well.
That's good.
Which is cool, yeah. I've never seen it, but I want to. A lot of good shows happening this weekend in Springfield, Missouri, if you're in town, which you probably are. Check them out. Also, plug-in. I recently got cast in Firefly as the second cast as Mal.
You should explain.
Captain Malcolm Reynolds.
I'm Nathan Fillion.
Oh, wow.
I'm the main character.
No, like what you mean by Firefly.
Oh, for those of you, this is a quick plug-in. Sorry. For those of you who don't know, the Springfield Community Theater likes to do Buffy the Vampire Slayer Readers Theater. They then recently did Star Trek Readers Theater. Both were very, very popular. Both were a lot of fun. Companies have kind of split. So there are 2 companies now. One is doing Buffy the Vampire Slayer Readers Theater still. I don't know if they're doing any other projects. Other company is doing Star Trek Readers Theater, Star Trek The Next Generation Readers Theater, as well as Firefly, which will be just full-out regular theater with 2 casts. I am the main character, Nathan Fillion's character, Malcolm Reynolds, the captain
Awesome.
of a sci-fi ship. I'm incredibly excited. Check it out when it happens. I don't know when it will.
We'll keep
It's
you
very
updated.
exciting.
Keep you updated.
As
Very
a
excited.
Firefly fan, I'm very
Super excited to be one of my favorite actors' main breakout character.
That was just a matter of getting cast as Captain Hammer, right?
Exactly.
There you go.
I've been told, by the way, that might be happening
that would be
soon.
so cool.
And they're looking for people to be Captain Hammer.
That's incredible.
The director looked at me and actually said, I kind of want you to audition for it. So that might happen as well. So things in the works. I'm slowly becoming one of my favorite actors of all time. So the Hammer is my penis.
That's very exciting. Ian, anything from you this week? Anything cool to talk about?
No, anything new that's coming up, people will know about because it'll be work in progress stuff. So.
All right, Brandon, you've been quiet today.
I have been kind of quiet. The Pony card game is coming out December 13th. I'll expect me to drop a lot of crap about that when it
Say
comes
December
out.
13th.
December 13th.
That's my birthday.
Oh, happy
Happy birthday,
happy
bud.
Happy birthday 3 weeks in advance.
Citizen advance, yes.
It's your
It's
present.
gonna be funny because it's not Pony versus Pony. It's like you get to solve a problem, and whoever solves the problem better wins that.
Oh, cool.
Whatever wins get points. Yeah, it's like So everything's something different with that. So it's gonna be neat. I'll want to buy a 2-player deck and just. Well, maybe
We'll
make
play it on
you guys.
the... Yeah.
Sure, I'll make you guys play with me.
Absolutely.
There you go.
It's
And,
us. We would love to play, honestly.
Yeah, it's a
I'll play
cute
it.
game.
I'll play it.
Yeah.
It's a cute game.
Even
They were showing it off at that
Monopoly,
convention
too.
I went to.
We're not going to do
We're not doing
I have
Monopoly.
NFL Monopoly.
Can we play Monopoly Junior?
No.
We can play.
Roller coasters?
Yeah, I
had
always kind of. So, Andrew, what about you, buddy?
Nothing really going on with my blog this week. I am about to start a music video for my final project, one of my classes this semester. I need to talk to all of you about being
You got it, buddy.
You got it. You
It's
got
going
it.
to be some tough, challenging stuff.
What song are you?
I'm going to do X Ambassadors plug coming at you. X Ambassadors, a band I plugged a couple episodes ago. I'm going to do their song Unconsolable, and it's a fucking really, really great song with a little bit of dark subject matter that I'm hoping to channel. This is, in my vision, this is easily my most serious project I've ever done. So it's going to be some good shit.
More serious than your community plug?
Well, see, that's the thing is I usually do like jokey shit,
Yeah,
and for once I'm like I kind of want to try my hand at something heavier.
Cool.
So
Awesome.
that's gonna be cool. Other than that, nothing's happening on the blog. If you want to listen to a band, because I throw a lot of band plugs on here, Churches, Scottish synth pop. It's spelled CHVRCHES. It's Churches with a V instead of a U.
It's crazy.
All that.
They're so fucking good. One of the best albums I've heard all year. It's
Like
called
Romans.
The Bones of What You Believe, and I cannot recommend it enough. Yeah, that's all I got going on. If you got
Well,
anything,
Pony Gauntlet. Expect that coming soon. I'm working on
Yes.
content right now.
awesome,
Just making shit like pixels and crap.
great.
Because the tiles are huge. They're 64 by
Doing flips
64
and shit.
tiles. Or huge tiles. I don't know why I made them that big. So I have to work on art and crap now.
Well, we're definitely all excited.
Yeah,
That's soon.
I'm really
That's
excited
soon.
to try it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm done.
Well, then, on that note, this has been a work in progress episode, whatever the fuck. Starting to my left, we have.
Brandon.
Ian.
And this is your host, as always, Andrew.
Hey!
Please rate, review on iTunes,
Yes.
and spread the word of work in progress to all your friends, like us on Facebook, all that fun shit. We will talk to you
We're on YouTube
next
now.
time. We're also on YouTube.
Yeah.
Do you know the URL?
No.
I'm sure we can post it on the Facebook page. Yeah, so follow us on Facebook, rate, review on iTunes, and you'll have a splendid week. Thank you very much.
Bye, guys.
Okay.